So, welcome to Of Knights and Nets. When last we met, the party joined Sigmund Ashcroft on his wagon, laden with mysterious vegetation that the party was unfortunately unable to see. You guys rode north with him through the mists and monsters. The party did their best to fend off monsters, except for classic Bim, who unfortunately failed his skill check, allowing Sigmund Ashcroft to be yoinked or yeeted from the top of the wagon by the mysterious ooze monsters and into the mists. They continued on without him until you guys found safety in the Northern Merchant Row, where you guys have been spending a lot of time resting at the Generous Skillet and meeting with Gottfried and getting to know that special man. You guys rested up for the coming gala, unable to locate your missing party member, Seth. And initially, that was why you had come north, to find Seth, who told you that he was heading to the Generous Skillet alone for unknown reasons. Meanwhile, Seth floated around the Temple of Mask, trapped. You spoke with Teresa, Saffron, Seth, and she gave you an objective and a disguise and a potion, and told you to go to the gala up on the spires at the top of Mount Agrevorn. And at the centermost spire, you would be able to find at the very bottom of it a trapdoor leading into the now defunct Temple of Mask inner sanctum. She claims that you can find a cure somewhere in this place that will heal you of the disease that seems to be riddling your body. A disease that can apparently only be cured by a child that you gave to a random man.
Also yeeted.
Yes, he was yeeted from existence. So you did cough up some ectoplasm during your long rest, and you believed you contracted the disease. Teresa has claimed to assist you, and just before you were about to leave for the gala, Sergeant Caden arrived at the Temple of Mask, and he came storming inward, and he was holding half of a skull because the jaw was missing from some spoon misadventure. These damn spoons. And unfortunately, he was yelling and rambling about finding Seth, finding the liar, and sticking it to him. Now, Wyverns descended back north to the party at the Generous Skillet, and they offered a ride to the gala upward in the Eyrie. You all arrived to meet a peculiar circumstance. A blue-skinned tiefling that you did not know claimed that the gala was in your honor, particularly in Bimbly's honor. And he worked very hard to separate Bimbly from the rest of the party. Fortunately, he was able to do so. And the party then was accosted by a group of thugs that were also blue-skinned tieflings that morphed into what he referred to as rune wardens. And they shapeshifted sort of into these bestial figures, some of which were wyverns, some of which were other things. And around the same time, a group of gala goers, the party goers, all donned white masks. And fortunately, Seth arrived at the same time and was able to speak his code word that Teresa had supplied him with, so that the followers of Mask were able to intervene on the party's behalf. But meanwhile, Bimbly was shown some things by Utrick on top of the dais that he had separated him from the party with. And the first of those things was a petrified statue of a tiefling woman with her hand outstretched. A charcoal rune had also marked the palm of the hand, but it did not appear to be part of the statue. The second thing he showed you, Bimbly, was the table covered with a corpse. And he took some time to beckon Amara over, someone from the narratives that we've been reading, and had Amara resurrect the tiefling, the young man that was on the table. He came to, and it appeared that his name was Castor. And as Utrick approached him, he drew his blade and threatened to slit Castor's throat, and that finally made Bimbly act. Bimbly leapt into action, all hell broke loose, battle ensued. The party was very victorious with their hail of bears and their assistance from the cultists. However, Bimbly, unfortunately separated from the party, was slain by Utrick in one-on-one combat. As Bimbly's body was thrown from the dais down into the party, An Oblex that had been residing within Bimbly's armor slipped out, grabbed Bimbly's sword, formed himself into a mirror image of the dead tiefling Castor on the table, approached the statue, put the sword in the hand of the outstretched statue. Lots of stuff was happening. And of course, the stone liquefied as a spell ended, and a auburn-haired tiefling approached. Utrick drew her blade and finally fired off a successful chaos bolt, slamming into the creature, approaching him and brutally murdering him with her fiery runic warblade. And that was where we ended the session, with the party looking on in confusion, remorse, and hopefully a little bit of hope. So, without further ado, I will bring up the stream and we will listen to a quick narrative and then begin.
Okie doke. Everybody make sure you mute your microphones during this so I don't mute you and then forget. Ready when you are, Gabe.
Amara looked up at the desperate head of the household from her place at the side of the lifeless Drea. She clasped the young woman's hand in hers and stood, chanting another incantation. The slab of stone cracked and shuddered as Drea sunk into the liquefying stone until nothing but an outstretched hand, held by Amara, remained. Theon glanced down at her, and then back to the door that was rapidly falling to pieces from the cultists' attacks. He drew the blade to the ready despite the lack of any connection to his daughter's spirit.
"Forgive me, my child. I only hope that I made the right decision and was not truly misguided,"
said Amara, kissing the back of Drea's hand before launching herself at Theon. They spun across the circular chamber, struggling against one another to gain control of the blade that whisked perilously between them.
"Amara, no!"
shouted Theon as they slammed against the frame of a turret window. The blade spun out of their grasp and shattered the glass as it made its way out into the night's embrace. The door then shattered open, and a blue-skinned tiefling smiled coldly. "Well, what do we have here?" Utrick drawled as his cultists flooded inward. Teresa Saffron strolled the middling temple grounds uneasily. She had felt drawn to this place, and she knew not why. Then, something whistled from the heavens and struck home in the earth before her. An intricate long blade sunk to the hilt in the dirt before her. She moved up to it and drew it, hurriedly headed into the Temple of Mask with the blade. The figure awaited the approach of the timid priestess. He stood knee-deep in the lurid pools of a fount in the mountains of Agrevorn. He felt her approach long before he heard her. The mortals made for good servants once you had broken their souls. "Approach, Teresa," he growled. She did as she was told and held the blade out, careful to not step into the waters. The figure turned. His chalk-white skin glowed in the reflected lights of the waters as he sloshed out. Teresa flinched at his approach, but did not move. He reached out with a clawed yet human-like hand and hefted the blade with a swish. The runes sparked an angry and fitful red that shone to his face. Black ink poured forth from eyes that roared like the depths of 1,000 embers, and a crown of flames licked upward toward great black wings that protruded from his back. "This will do," uttered Terrorburn. "This will break the world and the urns that could be used against all of the Dumai."
Wow.
And without further ado, to the session. All right. So, the party stands... Oh, let me start music. The party stands in the carnage of their previous battle. The corpse of a fallen companion rests before them still. Upon the dais before them, a foreign woman with auburn hair and sticky blood-covered dress wields the monstrous blade that Bimbly once used himself. Runes on the blade blazed to life, and upon it, they were in a dead language that by now all of you have been repeatedly seeing. So, Castor is on the table. His eyes are shut. He appears to be unconscious, perhaps. He's at least not stirring, but he is alive. Amara is sort of timidly in between Castor and Drea, sort of looking back and forth, unsure what to do with herself, but she is taking care of Castor at the moment. The fake Castor is lying below the plinth that Drea had come from, and he is seated on the ground, sort of just staring at his hands as he sort of shifting between ooze form and humanoid form.
We're below and we can't see this stuff.
I'm going to say that the dais is probably sunken down slowly as magics have faded. And there is no longer the bubble of anti-magic.
Well, go ahead, Kevin.
I'd just say Kevin's gonna shift out of bear form and allow his bear posse to dissipate.
I'd like to slowly sink down and see Bimbly there. Can I do a medicine check to see if Bimbly is yet living?
Absolutely.
Oh, I critically failed it.
You think he's possibly alive? I guess.
Okay.
You have your
I had to get it out of the way early.
Yeah. You have your hand where you think his heart is, but it's like over his stomach. It's just a misstep. You're a little shaken.
Well, in any case, I am like moving limbs and just I don't know, just trying to see if I can find a way to see if Bimbly's alive.
Yeah, after a few moments, it becomes quite apparent that Bimbly is indeed dead.
Okay.
Is the dais just slowly continue to be falling down?
Yeah, I would say it's down now. You're eye level with the rest of the party.
Okay. Can I check on Amara and Castor, see if they're all okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Amara first, since she's conscious.
Yes, she is conscious. She looks up at you, and there's concern evident on her face, but she is blind. So she seems to know where you are. She has a good sense of you, but she definitely is at a loss for words.
I'm just gonna take one of her hands and place it on Drea's own face and tell her, it's okay, Amara. Everything's going to be fine.
Drea, 50 years. 50 years is a long time. I can't believe you're finally back.
I did not mean to take so long. I lost time somehow. I'm sorry.
It is not your fault. The blade fell into the night. It was gone. I tried to find it desperately for days. I wasn't sure if giving it back to you would even work, but when they said that you had returned to the city, I had to take the chance.
Who are these people? Yeah. Amara.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
While we were fighting down here, I know something was going on there. Obviously, Bimbly was thrown down here. But I don't remember seeing these other people. Who are you? And I'll look at Drea.
This is going to be a hard one to explain and not one that I'm very welcoming to do so. Drea's gonna walk over to Bimbly and start looting his body. So she is just going over, she's taking swords, and she's going into like little pouches and places in his armor that are not very apparent and just taking stuff out.
I'm sorry, but what are you doing here?
Yeah, how dare you? This is
Hi.
a friend.
Hello, Kevin. How dare I? I'm simply taking back the things that are mine.
What do you mean, yours?
This is a former body, a Bimbly. Although the poor bastard seems to be dead, I don't think there's anything we can do for him unless we get him to a repair shop, but I am not dragging him out of here.
You mean to tell us that this was you the whole time?
Of sorts. It was both. It's a weird thing. She hefts the blade and she sort of shows it to you now. It's the same thing that Bimbly was holding, albeit a little bit more intricate with some runes on it. Very familiar runes.
Kevin will get close to Thok and like kind of tug on him like this and go, she knew my name was Kevin. She knew it.
I have it down just like in normal volume. Yes, it appears she knows all of us. It appears that Bimbly and she are one and the same.
Seth, make a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm. 12. No. Sorry. 15.
Okay. The only cultist that remains standing over in the corner begins to and you see his hand come down from underneath the white mask, and there is a pile of clear goop in his hand. More importantly, you take note that there is a cultist sort of just standing at the edge of the room watching you.
Looking at this cultist, does the cultist have a mask on still?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, who are you? Who aided us in this fight?
Oh, it's just me. I dropped the disguise. Seth. I'm back, baby.
He has returned.
I know, what a fight, am I right? You guys would have died if it wasn't for me.
Seth, where the hell did you come from?
The shadows.
Seth, why weren't you at the inn that we were all at?
Oh, a long story, but I'll try and make it brief. I was on my way until those pods fell from the sky. Then I kind of had to take refuge in the Temple of Mask, where I met Teresa. Teresa had this job for me to put the mask on, come to the Spire. And you guys were here, and now I'm here.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yeah, Scott, make a deception check. It's kind of like deception of omission. So really, your insight check will only be able to tell you that, Bryce.
16, Seth.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Damn it.
First time ever effectively lying to anybody ever.
Seth seems oddly sincere, unblinking eyes and all.
Well, I know how chaotic it was out there. I guess I'm glad you're okay.
I'm probably bleeding right now, and just like, by the way, Ren, could you hook me up? I'm hurt.
Yes, you seem to be spitting out goo.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. One of those pods kind of got me, and I'm sick. I have about 15 hours left of life.
I thought you couldn't die.
Hours.
I kind of thought so too, but I kind of had a revelation. I can.
I had a revelation. Turns out I can die. Who'd have thunk?
Well, acceptance is a good thing, I suppose.
I'm working on myself more and more each day. But I was also told that for me to be fully healed, I have to find a trap door at the base of the spire. There's a Lazarus pit I'm supposed to float in to make me feel good.
What's a Lazarus pit?
Yes.
I know what the pool does, right?
Well, you have to explain like the Bible now, right? Like Lazarus, or is that DC Comics?
That's DC Comics. Yeah.
Okay.
Lazarus was just a guy that Jesus brought back. He didn't have a pit.
You didn't have a pit.
No.
Lazarus knew how to open up the pit, though.
In this game, we mix up the Bible and DC Comics.
Pretty much. I thought it was the same thing.
I mean, DC took it from Lazarus from the Bible. Yeah. Let's get back on track here.
Sorry, I just read the Bible before I got on, so it was on the brain. It's just a pool that's hidden deep in a trap door somewhere that's supposed to help me get better and, not turn to goo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Why are you roaming the area searching for the pool instead of, I don't know, going to the last person we saw who could heal and stop the disease?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Where's
Miss
Tef?
Passions, who are you?
Oh boy. I'm not explaining this again. No.
Well, the reason I'm trying to find the pool is because Teresa told me to find it to make me feel better. That's all.
So you would rather follow somebody's instructions than go seek out your own faith? Seems odd and trusting.
Me and Teresa are pretty tight.
That's disgusting.
I think Teresa would take offense to that comment, but
Disgusting.
Well, where is this pool? What spire is this trapdoor at?
The trap door is at the bottom of this particular spire, but it's kept secret. I do not know where it is. But I will need help getting there because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty perilous down there. And, I can die now, so I need help.
I think you always could have died. Well, what say you all? Do we help this man?
The liar?
It's really nice to see everyone, too. I missed you.
Of course you did. Now, Ren, what do you think? Shall he be helped?
Seth, you've got to drop the cult attitude, I think. I smell its fakeness a mile away, and I think it's just hiding some insecurities, and I know that. I've been there myself.
This is an intervention.
I want to help you.
Again, I'm at 9 health right now, so I'm like near death, coughing up booze, and everyone's berating me. Ren, religion and cults are all I know. I consider this to be a cult. Friendship's Gate is what I'm calling it.
do you mean the party, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay.
D&D is my cult.
Yeah, I'll help.
Thanks.
We're gonna have a conversation later if you make it out of this alive.
That's fair.
If Ren decides he will help you, I shall help you.
I'll put an arm on him and cast Cure Wounds.
All right.
Okay. Meanwhile,
Oh, okay.
go ahead.
I'm gonna say Kevin will see that everyone's just trying not to let Seth die, and he'll walk over and hand him a berry, very begrudgingly.
Thank you, Kevin.
His heart grew a size bigger that day.
That's good for 1 hit point. Scott, go ahead and add
perfect.
that bad boy back in there.
All right. Well,
So in the meanwhile, Amara does approach Drea timidly from behind and sort of reaches out and touches your arm, Drea. And she says, in a hushed tone. She's not trying to let the party hear, but if the party would like to hear, you can make perception checks.
Yep.
Okay.
Kevin's curious.
I will wait until I see the perception checks.
10.
I got nothing.
Net 20, baby.
Hey.
All right. For Drea and Kevin's ears only, she whispers to you and says,
I do not know who took the blade or where it was taken, but I do know that it gained a reputation. Uhtred sought the blade for a long time, and it came to be known as the traitor blade. Whoever wielded it made many, many enemies. You can follow the trail, find the identity of the man that took the blade. If you wish to follow it, he went south first to the Faroe Islands, or the Faroe Peninsula. Basingulch, I think. He was powerful, though. Uhtred sent many men to him to recover the blade, so that he could use it for his own benefit. But he was unsuccessful. Every agent he sent was slain, and there were hundreds.
If I wish to seek truth in future, now is not the time, Amara. I've just gotten back. You are here, you're alive, and Castor. God, what did they do to him, Amara? Why is he not conscious?
That is my fault. They made me bring him back, over and over, until finally Uhtred had the grand idea to use the Oblexes to send copies of him out into the world to lure you back. He would try anything to get information about the blade. And until the blade was taken from whoever had it, none of those things did him any good. He simply did it for the pleasure of killing Castor time and again. For 50 years. But Castor always came back. I think if I spend enough time here with him, he will come back again. But I do worry he will not be the same man you left 50 years ago.
I don't think I should have brought him back, Amara. I think I should have let him die. I'm gonna walk towards the gooey caster and be like, are you still up for a ride?
Yes.
He's able to speak.
Yes. Oh, yes. I am ready. I thought I was going to die back there. Did you see that? Did you see what I did?
I did.
I carried the blade all the way across the dais.
It was very interesting. I did not know you had strength as your gooey.
Very little. I'm very little. I'm getting stronger, though.
Yes, indeed. Doc, Ren, everybody, do you care for Bimbly? Because he can be brought back, sort of. It's weird. He's alive.
Bimbly is a useful tool, I guess, now that it's not holding your existence, your consciousness.
He was a pain in the ass. He kept trying to make me do good things, and
What do you mean, good things?
it's when you're in a body with another thing and you constantly have to fight over that thing to gain its movement and its consciousness, then it's like butting heads. I hate it.
Kevin's just
Naturally.
nodding. Like, yeah. Every time. I hear voices in my head all the time, and no one ever listens.
Can I pat Kevin on the head? Will he resist at all? Just like, oh.
Bring it on. Get.
I haven't seen Kevin resist a single thing except Seth.
Can you describe what Drea looks like?
Yes, I can. Drea is a kind of red, pinkish, light skin tone tiefling, dark black horns, red auburn hair, She's about, I don't know, pretty short, probably around 5'8" or 5'6", and pretty small. The blade is basically as big as her.
I like that 5'6" to 5'8" is considered like short, and we have 4 Bryce in that range, and myself just 1 inch above it.
Chilling. Old, young.
Oh,
Are there signs of age or anything?
No, well, I don't think so. Are there?
No.
No, she's in her late 20s, around there.
Okay.
Kevin.
So, yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
When she patted your head, a voice that you haven't heard in a few weeks growls and it says, "Oh, I like this one."
Me too. Kevin just says it.
Just out loud.
Yep.
To himself.
Yep.
Oh no.
Also, how much of the conversation did Kevin not hear from the perception check that was going on there with the trader blade and all that? Did
I'd
I
say
hear
you heard
everything?
all of
Okay. He doesn't know what to do with this information.
Kevin, who were you just talking to? This, you said me too. To whom?
Well, I don't know. He's just always there, sometimes. But also always.
Where?
There. Here?
Here?
No, in here. Kevin points at his own head.
Interesting.
Who is he?
I don't think he has a name, right, Gabe? Or at least Kevin doesn't know.
I don't think Kevin ever bothered to ask. I mean, Kevin names everything himself, so it's probably Kevin.
It's Kevin.
So you're talking to your conscience.
What's that?
Don't go down this loop with him. You'll be lost. Well, anyway, we'll come back to this in some time, Kevin.
Okay.
Drea, how much of the same person are you as Bimbly is?
I don't understand. You mean, am I the same person you were talking to?
Yes.
Yes. I have.
With all the same memories?
Yes. I had complete possession over him.
I feel like you held out a little bit of information
Yes,
to us.
almost like I was being hunted. Very good stuff.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I feel like we might have been able to help you if we had known some of this.
Bryce is with the passive aggressive. Like, I mean, if you would have shared with us, maybe a little bit.
Ren is just super confused. Like, there's 2 separate conversations going on about consciousness. Kevin has split personalities. Drea just changed bodies. So,
Well, what do
it's a lot to take in.
What do you suggest we do with the body? If we were going to be venturing into the spire, it's hard to move him with us.
Oblex Caster,
Yes.
you said you had a little bit of strength. How far can that push?
I could probably help for a few hours. No more.
If I showed you directions, would you be able to get in the mechanics and walk him out?
I think so. I've spent a great deal of time inside.
Yes, that is very true. You know the workings very well.
Yes.
Just be careful of the heart region. It's all probably messed up.
I will avoid this spot. Promise.
Okay, well,
Can I make an insight check on that?
You may.
who are you inside?
The Oblex, I believe.
Yeah.
Ash already on the defensive. I love it. 19, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You definitely get a vibe that he's not entirely trustworthy, that there's some sort of just natural base instinct to the creature, but Drea does appear to trust him. And he has been within Bimbly for some time, unbeknownst to the party, of course. If you watch, he simply slithers right into the reticulated natural armor, and you see like the green ooze sort of leash out in the exposed areas where the armor is separated, and it goes through all the limbs and it goes up the neck, careful to avoid the chest, and the body goes rigid for a moment as Bimbly sort of sits up very woodenly. This is going to be much fun.
Yes, hopefully. There's a way down from the area into the middle buildings. It's just if you go down the hallway and to the left, there's another spire. We'll go down and make sure you just keep going down. You will hit the streets at some point.
Oh, the trapdoor though, or the streets? You're not. I'm not going with you.
I mean, you can.
I probably shouldn't. I'm pretty flimsy.
Yeah, it's up to you. I leave the choice. Either way, sick boy, Seth.
Yes.
I know where your pool is.
How do you know that? Haven't you been gone for I don't even. Who are you? I don't know. I
am the robot. Catch up here. Come on. I lived in
I'm
the spiders
sick.
for my entire life until I died. I know
You lived
where
here?
your pool is, but yes.
Does the pool work?
This is not my territory. This is all.
So you've
The
never
other-
been beyond the trapdoor.
I didn't go and jump into a pool just because I wanted to. I was murdered here. What the?
Fair enough. By the way, the new blade, does it look familiar to like me at all? Yeah.
Yeah, just sort of new bells and whistles. It's 95% the same.
Okay. No, I wasn't sure if I had to do anything like the bowl creation or literally anything.
Well, why don't you lead the way, Drea?
Sure.
Okay. Amara approaches Bimbly and helps him up, and they go and they take Castor together, and they give Drea one longing look, although Amara perhaps not so accurately. And then they head out down the spire to the safety of the town proper. In the meanwhile, Drea, you do know that across the ballroom, and one of the narratives covered this, across the ballroom there is a door, an archway that leads into a spiral staircase, and you know what's upstairs, while the party does not, where you were killed. And downstairs, of course, leads down throughout the spire, other doors leading into other ballrooms, other standard, like kitchens, servants' quarters, etc. And then at the very bottom, you will find the trapdoor. If you would like to head there, just let me know what you're gonna do.
Okay. Your pool is going to be waiting at the bottom of these steps through a false door. It will take a bit of remembering to get which tile will set it off, but I need to check something upstairs. You can go on without me.
Sure you don't need us to come with you?
I don't think so.
I mean, you just said that you were murdered.
Yes.
You don't need protection.
You do realize that I have a blade in which holds my soul, one of which I can use to kill Uthric. Even if he comes back.
Yeah, she's good.
If I still thought that I lived forever, I would say otherwise, but I have mortality now. I'll leave you be.
Now.
Kevin's not suspicious at all.
All right. So the party heads together to the spiral stair. Some of you go down. Only one of you goes up. Is that where you're headed, Drea? I didn't even ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to go check into the room, the top room. Death room.
Absolutely. Into the death room. Okay. It was good timing for the ominous music then. All right. So, Drea, you retrace your steps upward. With every step, you remember cutting down cultist after cultist. As you reach the top, you remember your brother being pulled backwards, sprays of his blood just covering the walls. You remember Amara pulling you into the chamber as you come to that large wooden door. It has since been replaced. It does appear to be unlocked. You can open it if you would like.
Yes.
Okay. You enter the room, and it appears very similar to the way it was. However, the ground where the large slab of rock once was like carved out. It looks like to bring you down to the ballroom, they had to physically excavate the floor out. Whatever had petrified you, whatever magics they couldn't undo, so they brought your body down. And that appears to be where or what they were using to convince Castor to accept the resurrections. The chamber itself, otherwise, is mostly unchanged. Even the spire window is still broken. They never repaired it. It looks like they didn't really use this chamber. There is, of course, the cabinet in the back end of the room. It is closed. And the exposed rafters up in the ceiling.
What's in the cabinet?
It is closed.
Well, I'm opening it.
You just walk up and poof.
Yeah.
I stand this decision. I understand that same feeling.
Are you so you just throw it wide open, not checking for traps or anything? It's too late. I was just judging you. I'm sorry. You throw the cabinet doors open, and at the bottom of the cabinet there is a pile of bones.
Do they look big, small, any sort of race?
Make a medicine check.
A medicine check?
Medicine,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
It's like you're becoming Bones from the TV show.
10.
Okay. You can tell that they're probably adult. And I'm not going to give you maybe gender and stuff because it's not a phenomenal roll, but they appear to be about 50 years old. Very dust covered, adult.
Do they have horns?
Sure, yes. You do recognize that feature.
Alright. Are there clothes in the closet that are not disgusting?
Very, very rotted away. You know what? There's a drawer on the top that you missed. You open it up, and there are clean clothes within. Are you just looking for non-blood covered clothes?
Yes, absolutely. You try being encrusted in bloody clothes for 50 years.
I'll put that on my to-do list. So you pull open the drawers, and there is chain mail, if that's what Drea wears. There's stuff there's just basic armaments, clothing. They are very old, so whatever you put on from this will be 50 years old, basically. Yeah, maybe there's some out-of-date frills and stuff. You're just old-fashioned.
Rusty mail.
Yes,
Rusty mail. There you go. I'll take the rusty mail and the clothes and go ahead and put those on.
Okay.
Can I check the rafters?
Yes, you can. Make a perception check.
Ooh.
Or are you trying to do an investigation, you're gonna climb up and take a deep look?
How high up is it?
I would say you could hop, put a foot up into the cabinet and then jump and reach it.
Yeah, sure. I'll investigate it.
Okay. So before the investigation, you do see, because it's not impossible just to see what's up there, there are traces of pallid moss. Aside from that, you don't see anything. But what did you get on the roll?
I got a 14.
14. Okay. You see gouges in the top ends of the beams as someone appears to have stripped the pallid moss out with force. Like disgraceful force. Like they didn't care what they were doing. They were just tearing it out.
Is there still some there? Like chilling?
There are thin shreds of it. And as you climb up, you hear faint hums.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm gonna take just a little bit, like carefully, just take a little strand, and it's probably gonna be really annoying and humming the entire time, but.
Maybe.
Okay. And then hop down and go down to the bottom of the stairs to try and meet up.
Okay. As you hop back down, the pallid moss kind of goes quiet. And as you leave through the door you came through and begin to descend once more, you remember again Castor being taken from you. And as emotions start to well up within you, the moss begins to let out a small cry.
Oh.
And as you continue down and the memory fades, the moss quiets once more.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the party that has gone to the bottom of the spiral staircase, you did finally arrive there, probably 20 minutes of just round and round and round down this hallway. And you do come to an empty storeroom at the bottom. There's some like rotted out crates. It looks like House Glacier really just didn't take care of things while they were here. So the rotted out crates are sort of strewn about. There are traces of something that looks like old rotted vegetation, you're not sure what. And there are some tile floor pieces, but they don't appear to be disturbed anywhere. Taking Drea's advice, one or more of you could search for those.
I will.
The trap tile, okay. Would anyone like to assist?
I am aware of the fact that Seth is poisoned with the ectoplasm stuff, and I'm gonna keep a little distance from Seth.
Okay.
Don't want to die myself.
Kevin will help.
Okay. All right, Seth, you can make that check with advantage.
Sure. What check is this again?
Investigation, sorry.
Investigation. 21.
21?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you have no problem finding it. Oh my goodness. It doesn't take you... Sorry, I had to reload my roll 20. The music might stop briefly. But yeah, you find it in no time, especially with Kevin assisting you. And you pull it up, and there is indeed a just wooden rough trapdoor underneath the tile.
Okay. See, Kevin, I told you.
How big of a tile?
About 5 foot by 5 foot, conveniently.
Okay.
What did Seth say?
I said, see, Kevin, I told you that we'd be friends.
I still don't like you.
2 berries later, saved my life once.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Kevin just continues moving on.
All right. Well, I jumped the trapdoor open.
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it open and jump down.
You don't even look down?
No.
You guys are being reckless as fuck tonight.
Tally ho!
To be
Is there a
fair,
ladder there?
I am
It's gonna be
always
a
reckless. Okay.
There's gonna be a dungeon crawl tonight, guys. All right.
Let's go.
Is
I
there
sprint
a ladder
forward.
for this door?
Hold on, Thok. As Seth just jumps right down the hole, Drea comes down the stairwell in her new armor and regalia. There is a small symbol. Does House Rinves have a crest that you would like to give it? I would say that it might still be on this old armor. I'll also say dealer's choice. Like, you could tear it off before you join the party if you'd like. I think you're muted, Ash.
Yeah, I am. They probably do. I don't have an idea of what it is. It's just, ooh, symbols.
Okay, ooh, symbols. All right. But Drea does join the party.
Oh, hi, Bimbly. Oh, sorry, it's gonna take me a little time to get used to. Find anything interesting up there?
Moss.
Oh, I love moss. I've got some in my pouch here.
Yeah, same kind.
Same kind? Oh,
They
it
grow.
has some kind of magical properties.
It's kind of. That's a hard one to explain. I see you guys found the trap. Good. Are we all ready?
Yes, how should we descend? Is it a long fall? I have rope.
You hear Seth at the bottom moaning and groaning. Before we move on to spelunking with Seth, there is one portcullis window that or like a porthole window that looks out down into the courtyard, and you all hear a monstrous boom. Thunder from far, far below just sort of echoes up the spire. Would anyone like to look out the window and make a perception check?
Of course I do. Come on.
Yeah, I'll join.
Let's
Would
do
anyone-
it.
Same.
Anyone who's short, you need a boost to see up the window.
Hey,
I pick each one of them up by like
That's
the scruff of, like,
racist.
their like belts and pants, just like one hand on each of them. Just
no,
All right,
gnome people
Red
are
does this.
kings, Gabe. Respected.
Yes. The two of you make your perception checks first, and then Thok and Drea can look second as you all sort of take your turns, because it's just a very small window.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Kevin feels very observant.
Kevin took most of the window up when Ren was trying to look.
First I'm short,
Thok-
now you're calling me chunky. What the heck, Gabe?
Hey, you're just shapes.
I'm a lithe fella.
No, you
Good
were
word.
just very excited. Drea and Thok, would you like to make checks as well?
Yeah, I got a 13.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay. Kevin and Drea, you were the only two really to see what happened, and it's mostly just the luck of the draw. It's when you looked through the porthole window and the clouds happened to part at the perfect moment, and you saw all the way down to the city below.
Oh no. The Sibriex again.
You catch a glimpse of wreckage. The city gate is blown inward. The hedge maze is trampled, and the Sibriex looms before the Temple of Mask.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not good.
The what?
What's not good?
The what?
It broke through the gates.
What broke through the gates?
The-
The Sibriex?
The big messy boy with all his tentacles and the dead bits and together and everything. Gabe, do you have the
no.
mini that you wanna
I always have the mini. I
Yeah.
take him to work.
Look at that! Oh no. What an icky
And-
boy.
For reference,
Icky boy.
this is about how big Kevin is to the Icky boy.
No.
It's like someone sneezed and it just didn't go well.
That's how I made him.
Yeah.
Just a couple sneezes.
It's reconstituted Gabe
COVID.
sneeze.
Ew.
He's been collecting his sneeze every day for
he's
the
got
last...
he's got this is my sneeze bottle right here. It used to be a Snapple.
God.
Yeah.
If we weren't streaming, I would have taken this joke way too far. Anyway,
Oh no! TOS.
use your imaginations. That's what we're all about here.
Oh.
Okay. So, Seth,
Yeah.
you jumped down this very dark hole. I actually have heights written in.
What's your health at still, Scott? Are you?
Let's roll that.
You're above
damage.
9 now, right? Because you're gonna.
17.
Seth, I would like a dexterity saving throw to see if you can grab onto anything as you're plummeting through darkness.
Okay. The 13.
Okay. You will take half fall damage.
So like a couple dice there.
Which would have been 24 crushing damage. It is now 12 crushing damage as you
Alright.
fall 60 feet. Holy shit. Fortunately, the lining of the spire's walls here have a lot of hooks on them. You're not sure what these hooks are meant for because it's super dark in here. Even though you have dark vision, you know, it's still black and white for you. You're just sort of reaching out and grabbing. Your legs are kicking. That weird sensation when you take a step at the bottom of the stairwell and there's no step there. Except it's that your stomach, you know, flies up into your throat. You're just like, oh shit. You do manage to catch a couple of the hooks. It's kind of like a scene where someone's falling through a forest canopy and you're just like bashing into things, but you do manage to slow yourself enough to not die. And you find yourself just staring up at a pinprick of light up above that is the trapdoor.
I thought I was gonna hit the pool. Ow.
I lean over the trapdoor. Seth, are you there?
Ow.
Did he jump?
He did. It seemed like a bad idea.
You're in the Aries. Everything is vertical. Oh my god.
The pool's not down here. Ow.
Well, this is good we know that much at least.
Thok, can you boost me up to this window again?
Of course. And I just again kind of grab him by the belt loop, hoist him up.
Can I look to see where the laboratory, where the gnomes were, like how close or far it is from that?
How long are you trying to? Because you have to catch like the clouds parting in certain ways to see down.
I'm gonna keep looking. I'm just say, hold me there. I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay, make a
try to-
perception check.
Uh, 10. My rolls are ass so far.
Yes.
Okay, this again, something like this, I would consider more of a how long are you willing to wait to make it happen than a pass fail. If you wait 10, 15 minutes, if time isn't like a killer for you, you can wait and find out.
I don't know if Thok can hold me for that long. Thok, you can just park me up on this windowsill or something like that.
Well, we should be moving. If the Sibriex is bust through the gates of the city, we are in
There's
crisis.
just, I know. There's just so many people down there that we've met. We've tried to help. There's Teresa. There's the gnomes. There's Tef's down there too. And now the Sibriex.
And we won't help them, any of them, by sitting here and being idle.
Can we tell Amara? Who? I feel so helpless.
It is okay to feel helpless, but we need to move.
Kevin will drop a berry down the trapdoor.
Scott, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. And then you eat the berry in sadness and it restores the 1 point of damage.
Kevin.
I stand over the trapdoor and I start lowering my 50 feet of rope.
Okay.
I kind of just hold on to the end and I loop it around my wrists. All right, who's going to go first?
I will.
Okay. Kevin. Again, it's just rope. You're climbing rope. I'm not going to call for a check.
Okay.
You just sort of make your way down. Ren, before you hop off the windowsill, the clouds do part, and you think you see smoke rising from the general area that the Inventors Guild is in.
Okay.
But you didn't get a great look.
Okay. Is it white smoke? Is it black smoke?
It's acrid smoke. Yes, it's
Okay.
black.
Okay.
Come on, Drea.
Okay.
What?
Would you like to climb down the rope? I think
Me?
Thok is just holding it.
Yeah.
It's not a rope of climbing, is it? Like last time.
No.
Dang.
Which did come in hand.
I have a rope of climbing,
Yes, you do.
Let's see.
but you put your rope down first.
All ropes are ropes of climbing. I refuse to accept that there's a distinction that needs to be made.
Okay.
So Kevin, then Drea,
I'll go down.
Ren. Thok, how are you getting down?
I'll look in through the trapdoor, and do I see those hooks that you had mentioned?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because it's pitch black down there. You might have dark vision, but it'll be a perception check with disadvantage unless you have a lit source of light.
Okay, I'll light a torch. Okay, I just scan the walls really quick with it.
Yep. Yeah. Now it's pretty apparent that there are hooks there. They are a little bit away, like they're a full arm span away. So it's not going to be like as simple as just leaning over and cinching it.
Okay. Let me stick a piton to kind of hammer that into the wall there, so I have like something to kind of bridge the gap to it.
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. And again, no check. These are things in your kit that you have proficiency with. And it takes a while. The party is probably standing there looking up, watching Thok go to work, starting to hammer pitons into things and tie ropes off. But you do eventually get it secured and you can take yourself down. Are you leaving the rope hanging and the door open?
Let me close the door if possible. I'd like to try to knot the rope or get the loop off it if I can. Kind of almost throw the rope while still holding on to it to see if I can get it to budge off. But if I fail to check on it, I don't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, make a.
Sorry, you're bringing the rope down with you?
So as I get to the bottom, I'm going to try to basically, hold on to the bottom of the rope and hurl it to get it off the loop at the top.
How are we getting back up?
You see Thok trying to remove the rope. Do you choose to stop him?
Yeah. Hey, what? We're gonna be stuck down here, Thok.
Oh, I thought there might be a way out at the bottom. Very smart.
I mean, maybe.
This is
Not
why.
bank on that though. I figured there'd be a way out. What?
This is why you are a wizard. I am not.
All right.
Well, as long as you keep boosting me up to Windows, I'll keep giving you little tidbits.
Life advice.
A strange change. Okay. Now that there's a lit torch down at the bottom, you can all look around and you see the large tubular chamber sports a series of ladders that ring the outer wall and lead downward into a strange, smoky darkness. It's strangely warm in this room, and a gust of acrid air is being pumped upward from a vent somewhere below, probably what Seth is lying on. The chamber depths look to reach about 60 feet deep until, well, you didn't read that, you just jumped. It ends in a platform of stone. The walls are lined with peculiar hooks linked by leather thongs that network the surface behind the ladders. They appear to be empty or no longer in use for whatever their purpose was. There was also ladders, but they were in the darkness.
I see with the torch.
Yeah, you would have seen them with the torch. I just forgot to read the description.
Oh well.
So you were in a tubular room. There's hooks that festoon the walls. They appear to be empty. You could investigate them if you please. On the stone ground, there is some sort of iron corrugated gate, like a grate, and something is being pumped up out of it. And it's like warm, hot, dry air, and it smells coppery.
How large did you say the chamber was?
So the chamber itself is probably 20 feet in diameter.
Okay. Can I point to the very center of the ceiling and cast a light cantrip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. That just means that you have a torch down below and a light above. It's pretty much all lit.
Okay.
Can I investigate the hooks?
Yes, you may. Make an investigation check.
Sure. 17.
Okay. You find traces of a strange vegetation that is slightly familiar to you. It looks like whatever it was wrapped around the hooks, but again has been hastily and greedily taken from the hooks, not in a very thorough and careful way.
Okay. Ren, come here. There's remnants of the plant. You're the plant guy.
Ooh, plants. Can I inspect it?
Yes, you may. Make a nature check if you'd like. With advantage, because you do recognize it.
I don't need any advantage, because I got a blurry little dice there.
Hey, there it is, 20.
It was a 20.
Okay, yeah, you instantly recognize that it is pallid moss. Now, not only do you recognize that, but as you sort of scan the room, you see that the hooks are just lined in circles all the way around. Like it's almost like it was a crop being grown.
Strange.
What's
So
it?
much moss here. The same moss that we encountered down in the Underdark that seems to respond to emotion is here too, and in large number it seems.
Interesting.
They were farming it.
The pallid moss, and in fact, this is the same moss we saw the diagram of from the gnomes.
And it may perhaps be the same vegetation that was on the cart.
Oh.
Curious.
But what are they pumping from underneath that's got that odor?
Can I pull out the little string of pallid moss and see if it reacts to anything in the room?
It does not.
Can I put it close to the floor and see if it reacts?
Sure. Like over the grate where the wind is being pumped up?
Yep.
As you do so, actually, you know what? Drea takes a step toward the grate in the center of the room, pulling the pallid moss from a pouch, and you hold it out over the hot air that's blowing upward. And you lean in and you wait. And it's sort of being blown around, you know, the strands are being blown upward, and then finally, it just begins to let out a shrill shriek of hate and pain.
The moss?
The moss.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, so you can tell, because the pallid moss, as you guys have bumped into it a few times, it seems to be able to sort of translate. Bryce, did you read, or you were able to see that page of the moss, correct?
Yes.
Would you like to make a history check to see if you remember or gleaned anything from it?
Please.
I would like that.
We want to know.
I want to tell you, I'm crazy.
22.
Okay. So you did scan over, and unfortunately, it was mostly in Dumayan, so you weren't able to pick up a lot. But it did appear, or you have heard rumor, and other things have been explained, that pallid moss, and this is actually something Drea might know, but pallid moss only grows where a great tragedy has occurred.
We should not be here. There is something very, very bad coming from down below. What? What?
Yes.
Seth, what pool did your masked goddess say? Did she describe it? Did she?
She's not my goddess. She's just a friend. And she didn't really say much about it. She just said that underneath the trap door there would be a pool, which apparently isn't here, and that it would help me cure my ailments.
There may yet be a pool beneath us.
I'm under the impression that's where the copper smells from.
Mm-hmm.
Do we, like, just looking out, do I see any other way out of this chamber besides the grate? Alright, I will pick up the grate.
Okay. Thok pulls back some of the, because it's like slats that run along. Like it looks like, like the vent in a car or something, in interior cab.
Yeah.
Pull one of the large vents up, and it's about wide enough to fit a person through. Would you like to look before you leap?
Yes.
Okay, Seth. So you just sort of like clamber in and you're poking your head down?
Yeah.
Okay. Underneath the iron vent slats, the stone slopes downward into a chasm. The stone itself appears to be very slick, perhaps with some sort of ashen byproduct. You could easily wedge your body into the crevice and sidle downward. Peering down, the natural hole reveals a dim red glow into a slick surface below that ripples occasionally as something drips into it. So again, this is like a natural cleft. It's more of a natural, like, winding little tunnel.
Okay.
But you can worm your way down it.
Okay. Guys, I think I see the pool.
Here, go swim. I give him a little push.
He's going to die down there.
Okay. All right. Would you like to make a dexterity save, Seth, or are you just committing to this?
I mean, as long as there's a safe way down this time, I'm gonna head down.
I mean, it's not safe, but it's not as bad as the last room.
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as I'm not going to fall to my death.
Okay, so Thok gives you a little nudge, and you go face first down, and you sort of worm your way. You're working your arms to get down the crevice until it finally you pop half of your body out the bottom, and you're bracing the sides of the chasm with your legs to keep from falling into open air.
Okay.
And what you see here now is, once in the chamber, the 15-foot diameter natural pool below you occasionally bubbles with a thick, squelching noise as air escapes from it. The dripping noise appears to be coming from two large burlap sacks that hang from this cavern ceiling. The laden sacks appear to be soaked through with something. The light that emanates from the pool below casts a peculiar red glow on everything in the chamber. Now, from your point, these hanging sacks are probably like 10 feet out on either side of you, and they're about even with you, but they're pretty large. So I would say they're 10 feet tall and maybe 5 feet wide.
Okay.
And they appear to be very full.
Okay, so am I hanging from the ceiling, or have I hit like?
Yeah. No, you're hanging from the ceiling upside down. There is a pool below you.
Yeah, I mean, gonna just go with the character flaw. I'm gonna jump right in.
Yay! All right. You let go and you... And it doesn't splash like a normal, nice water would splash. It sort of... and it's very viscous, and you fight for a moment to get up to the surface. And you take a deep, deep breath, and you realize... That's blood. That's all blood. It's not just blood, it's thicker than blood. There's something mixed in with this.
Can I investigate to see what the other thing mixed is?
Are you just sort of floating in
or
it?
something? What do
I was gonna say, just open your mouth.
I'm just floating on my back.
All right, Seth is floating in his back, completely covered in this goop. How are you investigating it? Because it is very dark in this room. I mean, it's like there's a red hue cast over everything.
Okay.
I think Ash might be in that room.
So
Color.
Yeah.
Color?
Yeah, the color of your lights.
I guess I'll just try and, if I can't really see what it is, I'll try and just, I'm not gonna throw it in my mouth, but I'll just kind of smell to see if it smells familiar.
So you're not going to throw it in your mouth, but you'll just... I mean, you're already covered in it, so you can smell it very well. It's definitely blood mixed with something.
Something.
A lot of blood.
I put my face near the grate and I yell, "Did you find it?"
It's a pool of blood. And it feels so nice.
Thok's a little intrigued. He'll start worming his way down.
Okay. Thok, you begin to worm your way down.
Be careful of the mystery sacks. They're dripping.
You finally get to the bottom, poke out upside down, bracing yourself much as he did. You do see the sacks. They are tied up into these eye rings that are drilled into the cavern wall, sort of just eye hooks that the rope is tied around. And the rope runs away from you to the cavern walls, and it just seems to be anchoring those.
The thing that was dripping out of the sacks, does it look like blood also, or is it something else?
It's very difficult to tell as you are just floating in blood 20 feet underneath it, and it's very dark in here.
All right.
Being so aggressively unsafe with this particular day.
How close am I to one?
Like 7-ish feet.
What's that say? I'll try to.
If you've got a spear, you could just stab it. I'm gonna stop suggesting things.
I don't
carry on.
I will try that. I'll take out a javelin, just like.
Are you actually trying to puncture it?
You just poke the.
I'll hit it with the blunt end. Just kind of feel what it feels like.
Which one are you poking? The one to your right or the one to your left?
Are they equidistant?
Yes.
I'll take the left first.
Okay.
Find out you're poking the uvula of a sarlacc pit, and we're just.
As you poke this particular sack, it begins to move.
No, it doesn't. Nope. No, it doesn't.
The bulges that come out the side of the burlap just begin to skitter up and down and flow. No sound is made though, other than a.
Classic Gabe.
We're in the monster.
I haven't gone down yet. Excuse me, did you guys say pool of blood?
And things are moving down here. I think we might be in something.
Is there a way out that you can see? Your eyeballs?
Is there? Can I check?
I mean, not well. You're floating. Okay, you're floating in the blood, staring at the ceiling. There's no light in the room. It's very difficult to tell.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Create Bonfire just to have some light so I can
Where?
see. On the floor, like next to the pool, in a safe spot.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there's floor. I didn't
There is
realize
floor,
there was
yes.
floor.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So it's like a 15-foot wide pool, and the sacks are at the edge of it, and they are dripping something down into it. But yes, beyond that, there is cavern floor. You cast the bonfire, and it just basically illuminates the room with more red, revealing that, in fact, you can see where those ropes are brought down and anchored into the ground. But aside from that, there does not appear to be any other way down. However, as you are floating in the waters, these big bubbles do keep as air escapes from below.
Do I feel better yet?
I don't think it's the right pool, Scott.
You do not feel better yet.
I'm gonna kind of get out.
Okay.
And just say, I don't think it's working. I'm still sick.
How far down? Oh God. How far down from the grate is the pool of blood?
About 20 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna cinch my rope of climbing to the grate and lower myself down. And then as I get close to the pool, just kick my legs a little bit and see if I can not get dunked in blood.
Make a dexterity check. Acrobatics. Because I want to dunk all of you in blood, but I'll let the dice decide.
Imagine saying that in any other context. I want to dunk you all in blood,
Dunk you
but
all
if you
in
want to
blood.
avoid it, I guess so.
And you willingly play.
You party poop.
17 Gabe.
All right. Ren avoids getting dunked in blood. Well played, sir.
Again. Kevin wants to try too.
Kevin, so you guys go through the same process?
Yes.
With using the command words on the rope? Kevin, make your acrobatics check for me.
Let's go. 16 plus 2 is 18.
All right, Kevin, you kick yourself out and you do the exact same thing as your predecessor. Thok, you're still at the top.
I'll try to. I see these guys moving nimbly. I'm just like,
Gnomely.
let me see. I try to pull off the same maneuver.
Okay, make an acrobatics check.
Let's see how this goes. Ooh, 17 plus 1, 18.
All right, you succeed. Drea, what would you like to do?
Yeah, no, I'm not about that blood life. I'm gonna try to do the same thing.
All right, make a dexterity acrobatics check.
Let's go, Dre. Oh no.
I got a 5.
Drea attempts to do the same maneuver, but the rope slips, and you feel yourself falling right on top of Seth. Wait, Seth, did you get out, or are you still in?
I got out.
Aw, man. Okay, yeah, you just plunk in.
Give him more bludgeoning damage.
Maybe.
I was actually just thinking that.
And Scott's just incapped. Okay.
But yes, Drea, you hit the edge of the pool, and you do it like feet first, so you're only drenched up to the waist.
So
But
you
you-
can stay in it.
Yeah. On the edges you can. It like slopes downward. If you had fallen in where Seth did, you can submerge completely and come back up like he did.
Okay.
The joys of DMing. Right there.
That's all Drea says. As she gets out, she just screams, just
Come
anger.
join us, blood sister.
Fuck off.
I cast Mending on Drea, but it only works on a 1 foot region, so she's got 1 foot of super clean.
Thank you, I guess. I am so covered in blood. Oh god, can we get out of here?
You look so badass. Do I look scary?
You always look scary. You could scare a child. I don't know why you're asking me this.
Well, there's sacks of mystery meat hanging from the top, and I think there might be something down below the pool. There's bubbles.
There might be something in the sacks as well.
Shall we find out?
Well, yeah, what makes you say there might be something in the sacks?
I think Michael is lagging. Or he's just so over this shit.
No, I lagged.
I just wanted something to pop up and like pop its head out of the water and go, what are you doing in my waters?
No! Please, no! No!
You ever drink Baileys from a soup?
Okay.
Oh, man.
Are there hooks on the walls here, too?
There are not.
Okay.
The walls appear to be fleshy, or are they like regular cavern walls?
Regular cavern walls.
Okay.
Am I inside the monster's rectum?
That's what I'm wondering. That's what was my actual thought.
No, but yeah, it's just natural cavern.
No, when he said waving around the sides, it was the size of the burlap sack.
Oh, the burlap sack. I thought you meant the cavern walls. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, it just felt sort of goopy.
Okay. Do we see any other real way out of here?
Just the way you came.
Well, what do you all think? Should I hurl one of these at it?
I can do it on too.
I can burn one.
Why are we burning the burlap sacks?
Hi,
Bryce.
See what's inside.
Oh, he's got
We're all messed up and Ben's gone.
Oh no.
No.
This is bad timing. This is not going to look great. Anyway, we are
It's
actually
gonna be
due to
yeah.
take a break. It is 8:30. As the party cooks up a terrible idea, we will see you all in a few minutes. All right. So some of you have gotten bloody. Some of you have not. You stand along the outer rim of the pool of blood in the cavern, the two burlap sacks hanging ominously above you, dripping something. You've had some ideas. Let me know what you're doing.
So
Are the sacks dripping like on the floor somewhere? Like
They're
into the
dripping
pool?
into the edges of the pool.
okay.
Can
I look at the stuff that's dripping from the edge of the pool to see if I can figure out what it is?
Sure, but so you're trying to like catch drips?
I just want to look at it first before I touch it. Well, actually,
so the pool, because it's like a drip.
I was gonna say I was actually already in the pool anyway, so sure, I'll just touch it.
Okay. All right. So you are reaching into the pool, and
how would you like to do that? In what way? How close do you get to the edge?
Make a nature check, I guess.
Sure. That's good. 5.
5. All right. You know there's definitely blood in this.
Okay.
That's all you get. For
I was gonna ask if I could do an investigation, but can I not do that now since he already did?
You know, just make an investigation check, and I'll tell you what you do.
Okay, Kevin is gonna investigate. Oh no. 12.
All right. Kevin, you decide to check out the 2 burlap sacks.
Okay.
One drips, and it's definitely blood, and it's coming from the still sack. The other one is dripping something different. And the sack that was poked by Thok is still
writhing.
Yeah. Writhing's a good word.
Hey guys, there's blood coming out of the one that's not moving, but the one that Thok poked is making weird noises, and it's got something else coming out of it. I don't know what it is though.
I don't think we should touch either of those.
But what if we want to see what's inside?
And we have no other way out.
I mean,
Could I tell how deep the pool was? Like, did I hit a bottom?
I would say your foot probably scraped the bottom of something that was metal.
Okay. I mean, there may be a way out underneath the pool.
to go ahead, check by all means.
Can we see where you said we can see where the ropes are tied that are holding the sacks up?
Yes. They run down from above the sacks, down the sides of the caverns, and then they're wedged into the cavern floor.
Maybe we can untie the ropes.
Why not? Let me do the still one first.
Okay. So you set to pulling the rope through until it hits an eye hook, and then you can pull it down safely to the cavern floor.
Okay.
Okay. You've got the sack before you.
Everyone stand back, and I'll open it.
Okay. I'm very proud of all of you for not making just tons of sack jokes as well. However,
I thought you were gonna say for not making any kind of investigation or insight checks on this as we brought it down and are opening it, but no, that's just the sack jokes.
No, I've accepted that you guys are just hell-bent on trying to kill yourselves. All right, so Thok, you've ordered your party to stand back. You just tear it open?
Sure.
Okay. You do that. You just tear the sack open. Something clatters to the ground. It doesn't matter. And a creature tumbles out lifelessly. Leathery, flapping wings. Well, they once would be flapping, but leathery wings. The head of a cobra. The body of a wind serpent. It's a wyvern. You guys have seen a bunch of these. However, there's something very wrong with it.
Well, it's in a sack underground, dripping blood. That's pretty wrong.
Kevin, come here. Take a look at this beast.
Okay.
What seems off about it to you?
It's dead.
Yes, aside from that.
Oh. Gabe, can I do an investigation check or something on it?
You can do an investigation check on the sack, or you can do a medicine check on the wyvern.
Sure, yeah, that. That is a 17.
17, okay. You realize that this wyvern has been exsanguinated. Like how it was held up, it was punctured in very specific places. All of its main arteries are severed very methodically, etc., to ensure that it would drain entirely through the bottom of the sack.
The wivy thing has been inebriated.
I don't think that's what you mean. I don't smell alcohol on it.
They poked holes in it. And bloody drips everywhere. Like you're trying to get rid of all the blood at once.
I see.
It's been irritated. Kevin's not good with words.
Good job, Kevin. Well, shall we open the live one?
Do you want to? It's probably a wyvern.
But it's not dripping blood.
Did I hear something clatter to the floor, you said?
You did.
Oops.
Can I take a look at that?
Yes, you may. Would you like to make an investigation check?
We gonna die today.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. So you heard something clatter to the ground, and you sort of hop over to the burlap sack, and you reach down and you pick up the chain that had been secured around it. And you realize upon very close inspection, the sort of padlock that was locked around it has a rune on it that you have seen before.
Which rune is it?
It is the same rune.
Yeah.
That was on the spoons.
Oh.
And
hey,
go ahead.
I recognize this, guys. This was on the spoons, remember?
The spoons.
We still have spoons on us, don't we?
A couple of you have individual spoons, yes.
Yeah.
Probably hold on to the chain. May help us, Sibriex.
Yeah, but why is this one here?
Were they infected? Sorry.
I was gonna say, so it could be why the wyvern seems formed.
Curious.
What was the English translation of the rune on the spoons?
I'm not sure you ever got that.
I'm trying to make a literal history check by checking my notes.
While you guys are sort of crowded around this rune taking a look at it, you hear a faint tearing from where Thok had previously poked his burlap sack. All of you turn around, but not quite in time to have seen whatever it was just go kerplunk into the bloody pool behind you. But the sack is drooping and very clearly torn open.
Everyone get ready.
Uh-oh.
Nothing happens.
Is it strengthful enough to survive the swimming? Quite thick.
Nothing surfaces, except for continued bubbles that sort of just pop and release this hiss of steam.
Do we save it? Or kill it?
I say we try to surface it, but be ready.
We did see before that those guards had transformed into wyverns. Perhaps this is another one of them.
I still don't know the nature of this chamber. This just looks like a sacrificial chamber, but for what purpose?
To feed the moss.
Teresa did tell me before I left that
chambers here were used for ritual magic, but she would not go deeper into what that meant.
This could be ritual blood magic. Drea, do you know of anything like that done in these towers in your time alive?
I mean, it could be some sick, twisted version of soul forging, but I don't know how. We don't do soul forging with flesh things.
Gabe's poker face.
Covering his mouth. Are there any like loose stones or anything around?
I mean, you could chip a chunk of the wall off if you
Yeah,
want to just chip it in.
want to hook something in there just to disturb the.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you do, it just like a bloody hand just sort of morphs out of the water and pulls it under.
There's a thing. Yep. It's in there.
Oh,
It's there.
I'll pull out one of my javelins and just kind of like hold it over the pool to see if it will like grab on.
Yeah, the hand just comes out, and it's amorphous. It's not like a human hand, but it's like tendrils that just come out and try and pull it down. They're pretty feeble, though. You can, if you hang on really well, your javelin pulls out.
Okay.
Can you pull
Can I
it
try
up?
this? Yeah, I was gonna say, can I see if I can pull it up?
No, it just sort of slops off of it, like with this real stretchy, nasty.
Can you make like a
goodness.
little slip knot in one of the ropes and like throw it in there and then try to catch the hand and pull it out? Someone who's not Kevin suggests, because Kevin would not think to do that. No, Kevin would think to do that. I used to have to trap animals and stuff. Kevin tries that. He baits a rope and makes a little slip knot. Has Thok do the same thing and throws out the rope and then tries to catch a hand and see if he can.
Okay. The hand comes out and it goes right through the circle and it like flaps down and it tries to grab onto the rope. And you cinch it shut and it just like bisects it and it just sinks back in.
That didn't work.
Can I do some kind of magical check on this kind of stuff?
Sure,
This
you
is
can
unlike
make
I've seen before.
make an Arcana check if you'd like. The other burlap
28.
sack is also just hanging up there.
Oh, I thought you said the other one fell.
No, the other one's hanging open. It's drooping, but it's
okay.
still up there.
Got it.
You don't get a whole lot of magic from this, actually.
All right.
Can I try to lower the other sack to the land?
Absolutely. When you pull this one down, you note that the entirety of the inside of the bag is filled with ectoplasm. And what ties this one shut is a strand of pallid moss.
What do you all make of this?
I mean, we all know it's pallid moss, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's moss.
I fear if I do not find the pool, this might be me eventually.
More or less. I'm wondering if the moss is some kind of a protective barrier against this ectoplasm in the outer world.
The guy from the tower in the Inventors Guild, in his orb of memories, he said there were two things that I didn't like. Right?
Yeah.
Emotion and vegetation.
That's the moss.
Pallid moss, yes.
I don't like vegetables either.
What are your passive perceptions, please?
Good question,
11.
sir.
13.
12.
13.
All right. You all hear something just a hair too late. And as you turn around, you realize the corpse of the wyvern is gone. But there is a trail of bloody ectoplasm where it once rested.
Why do we keep all looking one place at one time? Why is it we're just like, whoop? Oh, we missed the thing falling into the pool. Whoop? Oh, we missed the thing crawling out.
Look, when a big boom happens and a big splash and a big goop, you look.
I know.
Just like toilet time.
You know what? Since this happened, Thok just like roars in anger because he knows about the emotion. That these things don't tend to like it, so yeah, just bellow like, "Argh!"
Okay. The pallid moss sort of mimics a little bit, but nowhere near to the effect that it had when Drea was handling it. Like, it picks up a little bit of that frequency, and it does re-emit it, but not a lot. The water does bubble, but it doesn't seem... This particular pool is not reacting to the emotion.
Okay.
Can I take some of the moss that was tying the bag and try to drop it in the water? Or in the blood?
You can. When you toss some of the moss into that, it picks up on that same hatred that you had heard Drea get out of it earlier when she held it over the vent. And as the moss sort of... Are you just holding it, or are you dropping it in?
Dropping it in.
Okay, when you drop it in, the ooze parts as it falls all the way down to the bottom, revealing that there is some sort of vent system, but it looks to be sealed shut.
Okay.
And it's resting down there and then sort of bubbles over, but all of the ooze is very, very much so not touching it. And something begins to stir in the ooze. You can see the silhouette of the wyvern through the bonfire just sort of rippling above on the cavern's edge. And it just sort of starts to break and crack. And you see the beast sort of drawing in the ooze, like the level begins to sink as the form is becoming bloated with the ooze. And then instead of coming up, however, it begins to pry at the base. And it pulls those vent slats open. And then the ooze really begins to drain out. And the creature just sort of slops down and drops into the next room.
I think you've been practicing those sounds, Gabe. It sounds convincing.
I practiced so many sounds.
That's not good.
Well, this is also our only way down.
Are we following the bloody wyvern then?
It seems so.
There's certainly nowhere to go here.
To die if we don't.
Ugh.
My rope is 100 feet long, so maybe we just let it down further.
This would be wise.
Okay.
Can I hold on to that chain with the padlock with the rune?
You may.
Okay.
You do also see the pallid moss that you dropped in the cistern.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Okay. And it has drained. All of the ooze has drained through. And now you can actually hear something happening. You hear a steaming, hissing noise as whatever's dripping down is now just billowing up through that vent. And now you see all of that steam going up into the vents above that you had descended from. So it's almost like it would aerate the room with the pallid moss.
Okay. And then below us is a grate, or it's sealed off, or is it open now?
The grate is broken open now by the creature that fell through. It's a big hole. It's like a 10-foot wide hole. And you can look down into the next chamber if you're willing to sort of walk down into the cistern a little bit.
Seth, this is your party.
I jump.
I will go first. I am gravely ill. I'm not meant for this world. And kind of work my way down safely.
Sure. So you walk your way down into the bottom of the cistern, and you can poke your head down safely into the next room. A wide circular chamber that has smooth walls. The dripping blood has mostly subsided from the drain that you're looking down into. But it's revealing that what the blood and ooze that had poured down and steamed upward, that steam and mist is clinging to everything down there, misting like half the chamber. You can see that there are 9 platforms, wooden platforms poking up, and you cannot see into the mists below. The hiss of the blood smattering down into the mists reveals that with each droplet, more steam is made. The steam itself swirls and twists ominously, as though something is down there flying about within it. A series of ropes also runs downward from the ceiling, and they are like wicks of slick oil lanterns, and they split off into 12 equidistant points in between those 9 pillars I described, those 9 wooden pillars. So they're in between each one, so you could potentially jump to one and swing on it, like you're playing Pitfall. Surely, somewhere within the mists below the pillars is a way deeper into this dungeon.
Well, I can't see much, but I see a bunch of ropes and pillars, and I think our wyvern friend is fully active.
Well, Ren, do you want to command your rope there?
Bryce, you're muted.
I'll keep it taut and keep it as one straight line headed straight down.
Okay. That will just land on the direct center pillar.
Okay.
I will head down the rope.
Okay.
I'll go after.
Okay.
I'll go.
All right.
Am I still with him?
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. So the whole party comes down, and you're all on the center. Oh, these are precarious. You just barely fit. All right, Ben. Are you ready for another screen?
Let me know.
All right, so just before we switch screens, as the party lands down onto the centermost pillar, the great beast that escaped from above swoops up into the air, spreading its wings. It is no longer a wyvern. Instead, it is a misty, blood-infused beast, almost the size of a small dragon. It lets out an acidic roar hiss as sort of bile spreads out. None of it hitting you, but it lands on the pillars, the wooden pillars you stand upon, and you see as the saliva hits, it begins to burn holes into it.
Okay.
With no effect as of this moment. So, we will switch cameras. Are you ready, Ben?
Yes.
And yes, the mists are dryer sheets. They are back, ladies and gentlemen. At this point,
Returning.
it is pure spite.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look at the dry sheet. That's all right. Little throwback for you.
Yeah.
Here we
All
go.
right, and-
That music, though.
Yes. So, those of you who have played in my games before, you can see that there is a sand timer. It is already pre-poured to half. You will have some time in the middle of this to converse with one another if you feel the need to. There is a very large winged beast. He does appear to be dragon-like. And he is the one that has spit the bile at you. So, the mists down below, they are still swirling. They seem to be a separate entity from the creature itself. Sorry, I have to turn the music down a little bit. I can't hear myself think.
Why are you saying entity when you're talking about mist?
This particular entity.
Okay.
He does appear to be a coherent form. And he has spit acid breath outwards, so he is like targetable, basically, is kind of what I'm saying. Whereas the mists, like you could move those mists with spells if you so choose to. But that would be kind of like a guessing game if you just wanted to puncture holes in the mist. I will also say every turn at this level of height, you each at the beginning of your turn take 1 point of fire damage. So that's just something to bear in mind. I would like you all to also roll initiative. You can feel a great heat emanating from below. You think the lower you get, the hotter it gets, the more damage you take.
Got it.
And just drop your initiatives right into Discord. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Okay.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
All right. I'll just go last.
Y'all are so initiated.
Wow, guys. All right. All right, Seth, you are first.
Okay. I am going to cast Blink on myself.
Okay.
I do not disappear. I rolled 5.
Okay.
And then I guess I'm just gonna try and hit the back platform.
Okay, so you want to jump? You want to jump back one?
Yeah.
There.
To my right.
Okay, so here.
No.
Sorry, here.
No.
Oh my goodness.
The other one.
You want to jump to your right?
Yes.
Okay, you will have to jump to a rope. They are 15 feet apart.
Okay.
There is a acrobatics check.
Alright.
This is the wrong book. I am carrying the wrong book.
Alright. I got a 2.
You got a 2?
Yeah.
The DC was 5, Scott.
Sorry.
Roll
Scott
better
falls into
next
this.
time, says Gabe.
Oh god. You guys are killing me. I mean,
You're killing us.
I know, but okay. Scott, you have fallen into the mists. I'm gonna say that you can land standing up. And you can jump and try and climb upward.
Okay.
If you would like. It will be a strength athletics check.
Alright.
So just make the strength athletics check.
Oh. Okay. That's another 2, so.
All right. At the beginning of your turn, did you take your 1 point of fire damage?
I did.
Okay. You're still standing?
Barely, but yeah.
All right. Then, Kevin just saw Seth just cast a spell and then slip down the rope into the mists. You saw his hands crest out of the mist as he tried to climb up, but then they slipped off the edge of the wood and he fell back down.
Are you okay if Kevin summons Big Kevin, or?
Yeah, you're totally welcome to. Just bear in mind if you want him to attack something, the beast that is flying around, it is within 5 feet of whichever pillar it's next to.
Okay. I think I want to try to summon Big
Bears hold on
Kevin.
the ropes.
Big Kevin is not a bear.
I'm drawing a line.
Big Kevin has something else.
What's Big Kevin?
I don't even know, Bryce. I don't even know. I know what stat block Big Kevin is using, but I don't.
I'm excited.
Is it 10 bears?
Nope, it's one big Kevin.
Big.
Oh, so big.
Okay. So you're summoning him where?
Onto the platform in front of us.
Okay. To attack the
Yes.
creature? Okay.
It's Big Kevin.
Oh, so big.
All right. And you are tracking his stats, right?
Yes.
Okay. So roll initiative for him.
What?
Big Kevin has a dexterity modifier plus the roll, right?
Correct.
Has a 18.
Okay. So he will go right after you. BK. All right, it is BK's turn. So, actually, you do still have stuff to do. Is there anything you would like to do, Ben?
So casting that spell was an action, I believe. So I can't really do much for Scott. I'd say I could use a bonus action to toss him a berry, maybe, but I don't know if that would be.
I mean, I'll let you use a free action to just drop a berry down there.
I'll drop a berry just in case it gives him 1 hit point of sustain from the fire damage.
Okay. It will take an action to eat. That's just, I think, the rule.
I guess he has it on his person at least now.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. So
Can I
do that?
I don't know if I want to transform yet. Yeah, I'm concentrating on Big Kevin, so I will use my bonus action then to transform into a bear. And can I turn into specifically a magma bear this time?
Yeah, that's fine.
Would that give me? Well, here's the real question: does that give me fire resistance?
No, it does not.
Okay, then regular bear for now. I can always turn his attacks fiery if I need to.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be my turn. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Don't forget to take your 1 point of fire damage.
Okay.
All right, Big Kevin, take 1 point of fire damage, and then let me know what you're doing.
Are you gonna get him? He has a pounce attack. Can I use that?
I think he has to travel a certain distance before you can use
that. Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay, well, he'll do a bite and a claw attack.
Okay. Make those attacks for me, please.
Am I the only one in the dark about what Big Kevin is?
Yeah. No, everyone's in the dark.
Okay.
We haven't decided what shape Big Kevin actually is.
It is the summon woodland creatures. However, it's just matching a CR from the strongest singular entity he can summon. So it saves us a big headache on tracking 4 additional monsters.
Sure.
But it is more or less a large bear that has some magma-like qualities, which are mostly just aesthetic, and it will tie into Kevin's story.
Okay.
And he is much bigger than a normal singular, where each of the 4 bears were a half challenge CR rating. This is a challenge rating 2 monster, so it's the equivalent of 4 bears in terms of challenge. So 18 for the bite attack.
That'll hit.
That is. Do you want me to roll that damage first, or you want me to do the second to see if it hits too?
Yeah, just roll the damage real quick.
Okay. 18 damage.
Okay.
That's piercing if it matters.
Okay.
And then for the slashing claw attack, 6 to hit is a 14 to hit.
Okay, unfortunately the slash will not hit.
Okay.
However, Big Kevin does sink his jaws into the mists, and you do see blood squirt out. As you see this, anyone watching, you are welcome to make a perception check for me.
Yes, please.
All right. In the meanwhile, Soya, Thok will take 1 point of fire damage, and it is your turn.
Okay. I rolled an 18 on perception.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
I got 15 on perception there.
Okay.
Thok's turn.
I got a 21 perception, by the way.
21. All right.
Yeah.
Drea, you were the only one to notice that there is an nearly imperceptible change in the mists down below as the creature is bitten. As its health is reduced, the mists seem to just shrink a little bit.
Okay.
Just-
All right. Thok.
Can I try to jump to platform?
You may. Are you using the rope?
Sure.
All right, make an acrobatics check for me.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you are successful.
All right. I will make my 2 attacks here.
Okay, make those attacks for me, please.
That is a 26 to hit.
That hits.
All right.
Thok
Yes.
swings across, drives the war pick into the beast.
for
With a-
9 piercing damage.
How much?
9.
9. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting carried away with the noises at this point.
No, you're good.
They're good. Juicy.
18 to hit for the second attack.
The second attack will hit as well.
For an additional 9 piercing damage, roll 2 twice.
Oof. That's okay. All right. Drea, it is your turn. This is you, by the way. We can go over miniatures that you would like to use in the future.
That's fine. I'm just really curious. I want to see if this Chaos Bolt hits, if this curse is lifted or not.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Let's see if it goes. Alright.
Show us what you've got.
Can't wait for new episodes.
Oh, I know.
17 to hit.
Drea points her blade outward. Chaotic energies swirl around the tip of the blade as it fires outward towards the mists, and they begin to swirl away, and the Chaos Bolt lands and crushes into the wings of the creature you hit.
Yes.
Let's go!
Curse is lifted. So,
You just barely hit.
I did 8 and 8 force damage.
16 total?
No, just
8 force damage?
12, sorry. Forgot
12,
my
okay.
d6.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The Chaos Bolt warbles its way across the battlefield, slamming into the creature's wings, dispersing more mist. It is still up in the air. Would you like to use your movement, Ash? In any way?
Yeah, sure. I'll move to the front platform, a little bit behind Thuck.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw for me. Or, I'm sorry, a dexterity acrobatics check.
6.
6. You slide halfway down the rope, the mists cling to your boots for a second, and you kick yourself up. DC is literally 5.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That will bring us to Ren. It is your turn. You guys rolled so high on your initiative. The one round combat.
I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna cast Shatter on the creature
Very good.
and make a loud, thunderous field of energy around the creature. It makes a Constitution save.
Okay, I got a total of 12, and I rolled pretty low.
It fails.
Yes, it does. Roll me some damage, and this is thunder?
Thunder. It takes
right.
7.
Okay. A massive crack pierces the chamber, and you do see the beast sort of reel backwards as some mist is just displaced. And it is the beast's turn. You see it draw a deep breath as the mists swirl inward. Unfortunately for the party, it sprays a line of bile directly in front of it. All down the line.
Connect 4.
Yes. It's a puzzle combat. So I need you all to make, I believe it's dexterity saves. Let me just double check. Dun-dun-dun. Yes, dexterity saving throw. DC 14. I'm just going to let you guys know, so you can let me know if you passed or failed.
Nat 20 doesn't matter, just that it passes.
Nice.
Technically no.
Would have loved
yes,
to
you
have
do
saved
pass.
that then for my next
Fail.
attack roll.
That's okay, because you do pass still with that, Ben. On the bright side.
Big Kevin also passed.
Okay.
19 to save.
Okay.
I failed.
Okay. No, I'm sorry, Scott. You're the only one that doesn't have to make it because technically it lands on top of the pillars.
Oh, okay.
That's my bad. I should have told you.
All good.
And Drea, you pass, fail?
Pass.
Pass? Okay. All right. So, those of you who take damage here,
Cover me in acid.
I will cover all of my players in something. Anyway, that was... So, if you failed, you take 14 damage, 14 acid damage. If you succeed, you take 7.
I'm gonna use the Shield Master feat to not take half damage.
Ah, it is... Did I say it's dexterity?
Yeah.
Good looks. All right. It uses a legendary action to move without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Oh, fancy.
And is going to fly to here.
Lame.
Also, and bear with me a little bit on this, as the acid lands on your particular plank, you find that it is melting away.
Ah, yeah.
And the deeper into the chamber you get at the start of your turn, the more damage you will be taking.
Cool. Yay, mechanic.
That's a sick mechanic.
Yeah. Also, the beast is bloodied. You guys give it a walloping there, but you've got to survive. All right. Back to the top of the order. Seth, it is your turn. You are at the very hottest point of the chamber. You take 10 fire damage at the start of your turn.
Yes. Well, I'll start my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to use my Shadow Sorcery feat and try and make a save, so I have 1 hit point left.
Very good.
You said it was 10?
Yes, 10 fire damage.
I save with a 26.
There it is. So the party finally... Seth dies and comes back to life, and the party cannot see it because you were shrouded in mist. I am so sorry. But you are at 1 hit point. You do have your movement, your action. I think you have everything still.
I have everything. I'm going to try and get up on the platform in front of me.
Okay, make your strength athletics check.
Crit fail, so I'm stuck.
Okay.
Can I still see the guy from where I am?
Yeah, you can see his wings up here.
So I am going to bonus action, spend 3 sorcery points, and get my Hound of Ill Omen out right on the platform, right in front of it.
That's way too big, but that'll work for now.
Did you say hound? Hound of what?
Hound of Ill Omen.
Oh.
It has a 17 initiative too, so.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
I hate all of you.
And then as my main action, I'm going to cast a lightning bolt, so it has to make a dex saving throw with disadvantage.
Yep. I got that. All right, that's a 3. I know whatever it adds up to doesn't matter.
All right, so I'm going to 360 yeet from the mist.
All right. The mist's part as a blast of lightning rocks out of it, right over top of that hound and into the chest of the creature. Let me know what damage you did.
Sure. Check. 6. Uh, 22 lightning damage in total.
Okay.
Going down in a blaze of lightning.
Yeah. He's given up. I like it. I like this style, Seth. Okay. So you Emperor Palpatine as you're falling down into the chasm of the Death Star, but the lightning does land. Is that your turn, Seth?
Yeah, that's it. All I got.
Okay. Ben, it is your turn. What would Kevin like to do?
So did anybody in the party see what's happening and realize how bad of shape Scott is in?
I've honestly been in bad shape for the entire game.
Right, I'm asking like
it would be reasonable to assume yes. He's been in rough shape, and you guys know, especially now, you take 5 damage at the start of your turn, Kevin.
Okay, so Kevin will probably jump down to try and collect Seth's body and see if I can bring him back up.
Okay. So you hop down. You are down with Seth. He is still
as
up.
a bear, yeah.
Oh shoot, that's Ren. Okay, how do you propose you collect him?
Palm onto my back if possible, and then jump onto the other. I don't know if that'll work. We're rule of cool trying it, because otherwise he's just gonna die and we're gonna not be able to do anything about it.
You'll be able to heal him. He's not like, but yeah, I'll allow you to attempt it. Since he is conscious, he can get on.
I anticipate taking damage doing this.
I am going to say that your jump up is going to take a strength athletics check with disadvantage. Since it's ungainly, you're a bear trying to jump up a wooden platform, and you are trying to make sure that
you have 30 feet of climbing, because I have bear claws.
All right, you can climb.
I'm just putting that out there, so you can that information.
That's how it works. That means that you can climb.
Okay.
It's a wooden platform. You can sink your claws into it.
I actually also kind of screwed up because I forgot I had blink on.
True. I figured you dropped concentration when you hit 0 health, but I wasn't sure.
And you missed. You didn't blink, right? You failed to blink.
You get to do it every turn.
Every turn.
Oh.
But I don't know if I necessarily. Yeah, I guess so. I go to 0 and then I go back to 1, so it's probably just done in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 19, so.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you're more than good. You didn't even need to do a check. Really, the trick here is the fact that Seth would have to use movement to mount you on his turn. So we're bending the rules a little bit there. Otherwise, everything's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm doing this basically in lieu of actually taking a full turn. This is.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm allowing it. I'm just letting you know where the hiccup in the rules is.
Got it. Yeah. So just trying to get Seth out of there so that if he dies, he at least dies on a platform, then we can res him or attempt to. Very
good. Would you like to give your due to command?
Yes.
While it's still your turn?
Yes. That's the command. He knows.
Kill bad dragon boy.
Yep, exactly that.
Okay. All right.
Gabe speaks fluent magma bear.
One of my many skills. All right. Ben, is that your turn?
That is little Kevin's turn. Yes.
Okay. All right. Big Kevin.
Big Kevin. Big Yoshi. So he has.
In the case of people that can't use hands to use ropes, you will have to use the actual jumping rules. You can jump 15 feet. It's something to do with your strength score and your movement. Your character can jump 15 feet, but he'll be stuck on that platform.
He has 60 feet of movement. Is there any?
Okay. Then he can move.
Can he
3 platforms?
Can he get to the wyvern from there? Is that basically the question?
He can launch.
Well, Big Kevin is going for that wyvern.
Okay.
Not a care in the world.
Scott, I'm just moving your direwolf for space.
Oh, good.
So Big Kevin does get there. He does take the 5 damage from when he started on that lowered pillar.
Totally fine.
And you have been rolling your concentration checks every time you take damage on little Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Make your attacks, please.
Okay, first attack is the bite.
Okay.
And that is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, so for the bite, it is... 2 is 8 plus 4 is 12 damage from the bite.
Okay.
And then his claw attack, because he moved 30 feet.
Are you doing the pounce?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to try it anyway.
Yeah. Could you read it to me? Because like an opponent like this won't be able to get knocked prone if that's part of it.
Right. If Big Kevin moves at least 30 feet towards a creature, then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn. The target must succeed a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, then the big Kevin can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. He can't be knocked prone because he's made of air and blood.
Okay.
But I will still roll the check, and if he fails, I'll let you make the extra attack.
Okie doke.
What is the check?
13.
Okay. Dexterity.
Strength saving throw.
Strength save. Okay. I got a total of 19, unfortunately.
Okay.
So he does resist the attack, but you can still make that pound damage attack now.
Okay, and that is a 17 to hit.
All right, that just hits.
D8 plus 4 slashing damage. 6 plus 4 is 10.
Okay. All right. Well struck. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right, Thok, it is your turn.
Let me go to the platform nearest the timer.
Okay. Also, so take your 5 damage.
Yep.
And then make your dexterity acrobatics check. If you do the check, it only takes 5 movement.
Okay, well, I failed the check. I got a 3.
Oh my god. All right,
Wow.
into the mists.
Okay. Can I try to jump and climb?
You can, but it'll cost half of your movement now to climb up.
Okay.
Just
That's
make a
fine.
strength athletics check for me.
Please be better. That's better. 17.
Okay, yeah, you make it up. But you are at half movement minus 5.
Okay. So can't quite make it to the next platform then, correct? Yeah, now 30 feet.
You're at 10 feet left, so you can take another 2 swings.
Oh, okay.
Kind of
Oh.
playing fast and loose with not how strict I am, but like how big the squares are.
Yeah. All right, let's try it.
Okay, make 2 dexterity checks.
First one is a 12.
Okay, you make it.
Second one is an 8.
Okay, you do make it. Now, bear in mind, if the platform was lower or a different height, it would have been an increased DC, but you did
Right.
make this.
Okay.
Okay. You are welcome to make your attacks.
Sweet. Well, that's a crit fail for the first. And a 22 for the second.
All right, that definitely hits.
Alright. And that will be 12 piercing damage.
Okay. Well struck, as Thok manages just barely to get into the fray. Is that your turn?
That will be it.
All right. The Hound of Ill Omen, Scott.
I am just going to make an attack.
Okay.
And because I have allies around, do I get pack tactics? Oh.
Sure. Yeah.
Alright, cool. 19 to hit.
That will hit.
What's that? What's pack tactics?
If he has allies within 5 feet of him, he gets advantage on attack rolls. So,
Cool.
Oh yeah. Uh, 10 piercing damage.
Okay. Well struck. Is that your turn?
That's its turn. Yep.
Okay. Drea, it is your turn again. You are quite a ways away.
Can I swing diagonally onto the top middle platform?
Yes. But the DC is 10 for this since it's an oblong. They're different heights.
I did 13 pass.
Okay. Would you like to swing again?
No, I'm gonna stay. Well, I'm gonna actually. Can I move just to the very, very front edge, just to spare me some space, and do Witch Bolt?
Okay. What is the range on Witch Bolt?
30 feet.
All right. It is just in 30 feet, as a heads up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Is that just a spell attack?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
18, 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Nice. Okay.
Drea can't miss. Bimbly who?
The curse is broken! The curse is broken!
Curse is broken. Right. That is an 8 damage lightning.
Okay. All right. All right. Drea reaches out with the blade again. Is that where the spell emanates from? Like the tip of the sword? Okay. And you are now tethered to it with lightning. Okay. Ren, it is your turn.
Can I jump right platform?
Sure. Make a dexterity acrobatics check for me.
Oh, we're good. And let me know if I can do this. I'd like to pull a little bit of pallid moss out of my bag, wrap it around the head of a crossbow bolt, and shoot this thing with a crossbow bolt.
Fuck yeah, you can do that.
Awesome.
Dexterous little gnome fingers hard at work. But yeah, I'm not going to even call for a check. Just make the attack.
Okay. What do you add?
So
weapon
this will
attacks?
be your D20 roll plus your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier.
So it's a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's 8 piercing damage.
All right.
Mhm.
That was
Hold
abrupt.
on. One moment. I know. It's unfortunate.
Never mind.
The only way I can get the music to fade is if it comes to an end, and sometimes they're like 10 minutes long. Okay.
Ash, when we're in the battle cam, you're a little bit out of frame when you lean to the right over there. There you go. That's centered. It's fine if you want to be sneaky. Just
Trying to be sneaky.
kind of sneaky.
Okay. Let's see. Now, I didn't expect you to do this, so I'm picking a song that I didn't have prepared, so... that... I will play the Filthy Lemon Thief song again.
We've always been lovers, not fighters, Gabe.
It's very true.
Turning it up.
Turn up! I'm trying to. You know how Roll20 can be.
Yeah.
Temperamental. Okay. So, the crossbow bolt soars across the chamber, slamming into the breast of the creature. It pierces through it, the pallid moss ripping holes as the ectoplasm and the mists desperately attempts to separate itself from the projectile itself. As it slams through to the wall behind it, the creature begins to disintegrate, but not before exploding, showering everyone in this distinct area with what it was made of. So I'm going to need dexterity saves, DC 14 again, but just from that one pillar.
19 here.
Okay.
Big Kevin makes it.
Okay. That's the only two.
Yeah,
you
wolf
could
just disappears after
Okay.
he's dead. So
Okay. Okay, so the wolf disappears. Sorry, I'm trying to get that music louder still, but Roll20's not
Is it
playing well for
whispering?
me.
Is there whispering in the music?
I think it is, yeah. However, the pallid moss did seem to separate it completely, and then it explodes. Fortunately, those of you that succeed only take half damage. So,
I'll do the same thing with the Shield Master feat again.
okay, very good. Big Kevin will take 18 acid damage. Not that it's terribly.
That's the saved
problematic.
one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, half 9.
Okay. I mean, he's
I
fine
was
either
like,
way. He's a beefy boy, but
No, it was the same damage from before. And the platform will drop, but we are staying in initiative for a moment. However, the combat with the creature has ended, and the mists are swirling and beginning to dissipate. However, However, we've dropped that down again. And you guys, Bryce, the Pallid Moss put you over the damage by 2 to kill the beast. Just before its turn, it was going to get 1 more wave on you guys. So well done. It might make the difference between you guys getting through this, the remainder of the puzzle challenge. As the mists are lowering, you still need to find a way out because you are still taking damage from the heated floor. So we are going to continue on. Seth, it is your turn. You take 5 fire damage.
I'm down.
Seth keels over.
He's on my back.
his
Does
platform.
that matter? Can I keep him on my back basically, even if he's down?
I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay,
But
just
if
checking.
if you make like a saddle or something, or you're willing to don a saddle or have someone cinch him, then it would totally be fine.
Okay.
Just because we're already playing pretty fast and loose with the rules here.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay. But yeah, Seth, so you fall down. Ben, it is your turn. You will take 5 damage as well.
Bring it.
And make a concentration check.
Doing it right now. Make it. Okay.
Just DC 10.
Yep. 14 on that one. So.
Okay.
I can't. Kevin can't make a saddle. I don't know what to do. Can I pick him up in my mouth without hurting him?
Sure, I don't care.
Yeah. Just kind of reach down. I guess grab him by his belt or something and just pick him up with my mouth to move him until someone. Because I can't give him a berry. Like literally, I'm just. It would be a berry now.
So, what I am going to say about this is it's an action to pick him up, and you can't use your bite attack while he's in your mouth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kind of how we'll get around the mechanical.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you can carry him, but you can't attack with your bite.
Bear Kevin. Okay.
But you can hold him for more than 1 turn and keep your action for the next turn.
Okay, so I'm holding
continuing.
them and I guess preparing to move in whatever direction the party seems to think is best.
Okay.
So.
Very good. Big Kevin takes 5 damage. I'm sure Big Kevin has a nice meaty hit point pool.
He's a really beefy boy.
Yeah. So if you're not having him do anything, the big bad has disappeared. You didn't give him a new command, so he's just kind of looking around at the ready. Thok, you take 5 damage as well. You are down on a single submerged layer.
Alright.
Is there anything you would like to do, like to look through the mists?
Yeah.
Only dryer sheets here, but just imagine they're everywhere.
Yeah, can I try to peer through, see if I can see like a mechanism of some sort to stop the heat?
You can make an investigation check with disadvantage because you can't see.
Okay.
If you would like. Just tell me like basically what it's almost like guess who at this point. Tell me which quadrant you're searching. Like, do you want to move to a different one and look? Do you want to do it here?
Let me move to the center platform.
Okay. Make your dexterity save.
That is 18.
Okay. Yeah, more than good. And make your investigation check with disadvantage. Now, you can get rid of the disadvantage if you light a torch and hop down into it, but you'll take more damage.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Investigation. That's one of these.
And I do not like this music choice.
That is a 3.
Okay. Unfortunately, you are not sure if this quadrant has an escape or not. And roll 20 is locked up.
Boo.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Drea, it is your turn. You take 1 point of fire damage as well. You're on one of the safer platforms.
Okay. I'm gonna swing back over to the platform behind the higher one.
Okay. Make your dexterity check.
16.
Okay, more than good.
And do the same thing that Thok did.
Okay. If you don't jump down, it is investigation with disadvantage.
That's fine.
Okay. You guys must have enough health to risk this as Seth burns alive.
Okay, that's an 18.
Does Seth
Okay.
taste good?
No,
Yeah.
because he's been floating in that pool of very old blood.
Okay, just checking.
Drea, the mists swirl and dissipate a little bit as you sort of poke around with your sword, maybe, or trace it through, or get your face close enough. You do not see an exit in that quadrant,
Bleh.
but you've checked it, and you're pretty certain you've checked it well. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Bryce.
actually,
Okay, go ahead.
can I just use the rest of my movement speed to do over 1 and check that quadrant?
Here or here?
Zip it back.
This
Second one.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. You can use the movement, make the dexterity save. Unfortunately, investigating, searching is an action. So you'll have to wait till next turn.
12.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. All right. Ren, it's your turn.
Can I go down into the space on the floor?
You may. Which side do you want to jump off of?
Away from Big Kevin.
Okay. Also, you take 5 fire damage at the start of the turn.
Okay. I want to do my check and then see if I can use the rest of my movement to scramble back up.
Okay. Yeah. So make the search with just standard.
Oh, nice. 22.
Okay. Yeah. This quadrant does not appear to have any escape.
Okay. Now I'm gonna try to get back up.
Strength, athletics.
What? That's a no from me, dog.
Okay. You fall back down, and unfortunately, you are stuck down below. The tiles underneath your feet are scorching hot. So at the start of your next turn, you'll take some extra damage.
I'm gonna healing word myself.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start flipping these so I remember which ones you guys have searched, because I will forget. Okay. And you can see where I stopped painting because I was lazy. Anyway.
Also, the one below me is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That will bring us to, if Bryce is at the end of your turn.
Yes.
Okay. Dragon Boy is dead, or is he? He comes back. Seth, it's your turn. Make a death saving throw for me.
Or
Just dying in my mouth.
That's a 9, so okay.
All right. You've got a death fail. You can feel Seth convulsing slightly in your mouth.
Par for the course.
Go.
Not all of Kevin's meals agree with him.
Ben, it is your turn. Kevin, rather.
Can I jump down? If I jump down, does that put Seth in a place where he auto fails because he's taking extra damage?
Technically he's taking damage. He should have taken damage. Seth, you have 2 death fails because you took damage at the start of the turn as well.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
It doesn't really matter how much damage he takes. It's just taking damage is a fail. Unfortunately.
Right, but if I jump down, then I'm assuming he would take damage if I jump down to investigate that next tile.
He'll take more damage, but it won't be any different from him taking 1 or 5. It'll be a death fail either way.
But
he will take damage at the start of his turn.
That means he would be taking damage on my turn as well if I jump down now. Okay, so then I'll jump down and investigate the one that's closest to the bottom center of the screen.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. This way?
The bottom center.
So here?
Yes, there.
Okay.
And I want to investigate that one. What do I need to do?
Make an investigation check. You're down below, risking damage, so you're not doing it with disadvantage.
16.
However, okay. Yeah, this one appears to be clear as well. You can't find anything as you search through the mists.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you only have half movement if you're laden with another character. I'm treating it like grappling.
Fair point. So I have 15 climbing, or let me see where.
And that is more than enough to get back up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
'Cause-
Would you like to just climb up?
Yes, please.
Okay. Bear in mind at the start of Seth's next turn, he will die.
I bear in every mind. I don't know. I don't have anything to stop that. I don't think.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything to stop that? Does anyone have any?
Yeah, Bryce could healing ward him on his next turn.
You can come out of bear form and give him a medicine. Someone can give him a medicine check. You can stabilize a person that's downed. You don't need to heal them.
Yeah, you can just get them to 0.
Which then he'll take 1 hit point.
Okay,
worth of damage at the next turn.
then I
but-
cannot carry him. Just need you guys to know that because I can't turn back into a bear.
Someone just needs to come over and give him a medicine check on their turn.
If possible, that would be a good idea because if I can't carry him otherwise, and I don't think we have another way to do that.
Okay.
So, can I communicate with Big Kevin to check the one he's on, possibly?
Yes.
Or is that we were gonna set this up? We were gonna set this up with a feat, but
can he jump down, or are you leaving him up?
he can jump down.
Okay. Big Kevin jumps down and begins to sniff around. What do you mentally communicate to
Out,
Malor?
like way out,
Way out?
like find a way out.
Oh, far out, bro.
Far out, Malor.
Way
Okay,
out.
Big Kevin, let's go. All right.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, a way out. Yeah, make an investigation check for him with his intelligence score.
Is it intelligence or perception?
This is intelligence because it's investigation.
Okay, that is 18 minus 4. It's not the
Big
smartest
Kevin
boy.
replies to you. Found way out.
Hey!
I was trying to be a little deceiving because you guys were all on it, and I was like, you can move to another one and investigate
You
first.
little giant turd. All right.
Wow.
But yes, Big Kevin has found it. However, you will still all need to make your way over to him, and he has to communicate to the party, which Kevin cannot do as a bear. So,
Nice.
Fuck, it is your turn.
Can he get up and
You didn't communicate that to him.
That's true. That's true.
This is. I will let him climb back up.
Sorry, Scott. Tried to save you. Can't happen.
I mean, we have to follow some of the rules.
I know.
Okay.
I'll swing across to God, why am I blinking to Seth?
Okay.
And
Make your dexterity save. DC 8, because it's different height.
15.
Okay, you're good.
Yes.
And I will try to make a medicine check to stabilize him.
Yep. Just DC 10.
Nope.
Oh my god.
It was a 7.
Okay. That is an action, just as a heads up.
Yeah.
And you did take 5 fire damage at the start of your turn.
Oh yeah, good call. I did not actually tally that up.
What a disaster the post-combat has become.
Yeah, seriously.
The danger of a puzzle combat. That's why the monster isn't too hard, but then...
Yeah.
Let me just move over one to the right.
This way?
Other way.
Are you gonna check it? Because
Okay.
you don't know.
It has been checked. Make the 5 DC acrobatics check. Technically, you can't make an investigation check because you used your action to make a medicine
Pass
check.
it. Please pass it.
That's 12.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You make
I'll
it.
just shout down to Ren. Ren, use your healing on Seth. Keep blanking out his name right.
That's okay.
Where is he?
He's on the platform to my left.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Bryce can't see him. Oh god, no.
Bryce is trapped down there burning alive. Okay. Thok, that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Drea, it is your turn.
Jesus.
That's the sound that's replaying in my mind.
That's the way
This is how it ends.
I mean, I can't do much else, but I guess go over and try to help. I'll go and do the DC 13. Oh.
All right, you make it.
All right. What was it to try and stabilize him?
A medicine check. So I believe that's wisdom.
Yeah. 13?
All right, you have stabilized Seth.
Oh God.
Well done. I'm not going to ask you to describe how you did it because I imagine Drea wasn't very kind about it. But Seth, you were.
You slapped him and woke him up and just
Whack him in the face.
Since he's going to take 1 point of damage at the start of his next turn, I'm very tempted to say that you revive him and just slap him right back to the undead. But okay, is that your turn, Ash?
Yeah.
Okay. Bryce, Ren, it's your turn. You take 10 fire damage.
Ooh.
Okay. So when he's stabilized, what happens?
He just doesn't take more death saving throws.
He's at 0 health, but he's unconscious, but he's stable, so he's just not making saves.
But he's gonna go right back to making them on his turn.
Yeah. But
Got
you
it.
guys will have 2 to 3 more turns to save him again.
Okay. Cool, because I don't have any more healing.
Oh shit!
So I'm just gonna. I had to use it on myself because I would have died here next turn.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Damn.
So I'm gonna crawl back up.
Okay, make your strength test.
No, I stay down.
Oh my god. You guys fucking kidding me?
Okay, wait, can somebody help him up onto the platform, like the nearest person?
I mean, Bryce, you could use your rope of climbing if you were so inclined.
It's tied somewhere above, isn't it?
You left it behind?
Because we needed to get out.
So we could get out.
Or was that? That was Michael's, though, wasn't it? Wasn't that Michael's? No, we left the rope of
No.
climbing on the second drop. We're gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. This is how death happens.
Committed suicide.
You made a dexterity puzzle for like 3 spellcasters.
Dexterity of 5. The DC was 5.
That's true. You guys got some real bad rolls.
I will not take fault for this.
How many crit fails does it take?
Okay, all
Is
right.
it Scott's turn, right?
Bryce, that was your turn.
I've got my bonus action, I guess. Okay, check. All right.
Check it.
I've got Expeditious Retreat. Can I use that?
Yes.
Can I use anything? Please let us live.
Allows you to move at an incredible space. I can take the dash action
Oh, I thought it was lagging out.
twice.
You did. It just came back quickly enough.
Okay. So you can take the dash action twice. Where would you like to go? Up? Like, you want to Sonic your way up? You know what? I'll allow you to attempt it. The DC. How? I don't.
Well, this is gonna be
make a
memorable.
strength athletics check.
Thank you, Dungeon Daddy, for having mercy on
What's
your
the
poor
DC?
0 rolling party.
DC 10.
No, I'm down there still. All right.
You do
That's
still
my
have
turn.
movement, but okay. Seth, you take 1 point of fire damage.
All right.
You are reduced to 0 health again. Oh no. Ben, it's your turn.
Okay, Kevin will make a big show that he knows the way out and will go as far as he can towards Big Kevin.
Okay.
So my movement
You go
is
and just start loping off.
but
Okay.
it's like a while still holding. Goddamn, while still
What's your
holding
movement
Scott.
speed?
40.
Okay, so you can get 20. I'll let you do 40 if you dash.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
You make it to right there. You can see the exit, but you can't quite get to it.
Okay, and then can I want to convey to Big Kevin, get them out.
Okay, Big Kevin suddenly takes that as help Ren,
Yes.
and he
Oh god,
on
that
his
would be
turn,
so
he
terrifying.
he jumps over to that side and he holds a big paw out. But it's going to be like a help action that he is delaying, basically, for you, Ren. And his turn is next, so that's over. Thok, it is your turn. If I was a true butthole, I should make you guys do insight checks on Kevin to see if you can interpret him, but we get it. We get it.
Is there any way that I could assist him up, like, now? What,
You can just jump down and throw him up.
Okay.
I'll just make you have a higher DC strength check.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So you hop down, you try and throw him up. Make a strength athletic check.
No.
Is it a
No.
critical fail? Because he's got to take damage if it's a critical fit.
Michael, no! Oh my gosh!
Why do I bother? All right, you.
You froze.
She's gone.
Give him a second, I'll be back. That's the thing, he's not even frozen because of the internet, he's just frozen because of disappointment. That's it. There we go. Hey.
You're back.
Welcome
I
back.
scratched my eyes and I can see I look like a raccoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you throw Ren up into the air, but you just throw him straight up into the air and back down. Ren, you take
Oh no.
6. I rolled a 6. You take 6 crushing damage as you fall down.
Is shield only against attacks, by the way?
Yeah, crushing damage doesn't save that. If you have feather fall, you could use that as a reaction.
No.
This week on Gabe recommends spells we still don't have. Did you know if you had this spell, you wouldn't be dying right now? Well, sucks to me.
Just to save myself from 10 damage, I'm gonna climb back up on the platform I was at before.
Michael jumps down, yeets Ren straight up. Ren hits the ground, takes damage, and Michael's like, peace!
I just yelled out to him, hang in there, little buddy.
Make a strength athletics check to climb back up.
now I rolled a 19.
Oh my god! I can't believe I'm saving myself!
Oh my god. I can't decide if this puzzle was my greatest or worst creation. All right.
I keep cough laughing because I'm sick still.
Drea, it's your turn.
I'm here. Okay.
Would you like to play Toss the Gnome?
Oh my god.
Toss the gnome? Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go down there and get him.
Okay, you take 1 point of fire damage.
That's fine.
Would you like to make a strength athletics check?
Maybe. Is it possible to, like, carry him? Like, just...
Not really, because the action, if you had a climb speed, I would say yes, or if you had boots of climbing, you could try tying him to yourself and then climbing, and then I can increase the DC because you have more weight. Just because it like occupies your hand, so then you just don't have 2 hands to climb. If you had a climb speed, I would say you're naturally inclined to climbing.
Okay.
I mean, technically,
also play Toss the Gnome, but like carefully, like just nudge him up by the butt.
Can you throw him to Big Kevin?
Wait. Hang on.
Just
Big
don't
Kevin.
fail.
Big Kevin is reaching for him. Like,
Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
all right, let's go.
bravo! He has this giant paw is just hanging there.
Yep.
I thought I was trying to throw him up to him before.
Yeah, but you crit
I
failed,
know,
Michael.
but
It doesn't
you
matter
crit
what you
failed.
were trying to
I'm so
do.
sorry. Make a strength athletics check.
Okay. Jeez. 19?
Ah, yes, that's fine. You don't even need Big Kevin for that, but yes. So you throw the unconscious Ren.
I am still yet conscious, my friend.
You throw the conscious, still yet Ren.
Conscious
on
but
top of
disappointed.
Big Kevin. Okay, well, you've used 10 feet of movement.
Can I... Is Kevin, regular Bear Kevin, on the platform yet? Because saw him bolt.
I don't think so.
No, but you do see the direction he went in.
Alright, I'll go that direction and see how far my movement gets.
Right to there.
Okay, I guess... Wait, what?
I'm just gonna giggle.
You use 10, that's another 20 feet.
Alright, that's fine. I'll just get up onto the platform.
Well, you don't have any movement
No,
left.
I don't have any movement. Alright, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I had the
I'm just
wrong
gonna stay down
stat
there.
block up for
Okay.
that.
Back to the top. Seth. I need another. You take a point of damage.
So 2 fails again.
Just one, because it's not a critical attack.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is just an automatic fail because you've taken damage.
Okay.
All right. Actually, you do have to roll too, right? Because it's your turn. Yeah, you take damage, which is an auto fail. Now I need you to roll again. So roll a death save.
14.
Okay. So you have a fail and a success.
Okay.
We're close to the exit, though, right? Or at least the exit of the puzzle.
You are very close. Yes. Yeah. This is just a placeholder, but it's just like a small drain, like a small entrance way downward. All right. Seth, that's your turn. Ben, you are near. You take 10 points of fire damage.
Yep. Bring it.
You are concentrating still?
Let me double check the rule. Just need to beat 10, right?
Correct?
Yep, 15.
Okay. Yeah, until it's over 20 points of damage. All right. You can move 20 feet, which is to right here, or you can dash and make it to the exit.
Let me dash out.
Okay.
That is my
All right.
action, though, right?
Yes, that would be your action.
Okay. I can't give him a berry or stabilize him without an action. But
No, but as you descend, you do feel it getting much, much cooler.
okay. So it seems, but we're out, and it's to the point where he's not going to take damage next round.
Correct, yeah.
So if he dies, oh, he has two. No, he has 2 chances. Okay.
That's good.
Unless he crit fails, in which case he dies outright.
I can't do anything about that, and if he dies, he dies.
Okay.
And I will.
All right.
I'll continue to echo the same refrain to Big Kevin of save them, basically, to get them out.
Very good. Okay, Big Kevin turns. You are technically in his clutches. Are you willing to be in his clutches, Bryce?
Yeah.
All right, Big Kevin takes 5 fire damage.
Take me home, Big Kevin.
And runs. He runs to the hole, but he can't fit. So he just takes you and he begins to stuff you down the hole. Do you resist?
I don't resist it. I've been a ragdoll the past 3 turns.
Okay. All right.
No.
You are safe, Bryce. Fuck, it's your turn. I regret nothing from tonight's session.
I'm gonna try to.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm gonna try to make my way to the exit here.
Making my way downtown. Are you swinging?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, it's if you don't fail, you get farther. Also, you take 1 point of fire damage.
I was gonna say that was a high one.
It is. I double checked. I did them down.
I had the high ground. 14 for the check.
All right.
And unnatural 20 for the second.
Okay. And then you can jump down and exit.
I'm gonna use my second wind just to heal up a little bit here.
Okay. Cool. Just record that yourself. I trust you. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
All right. Ren, it's technically your turn, but you are safe, so I'm going to skip you just for the sake of trying to move along, because I have a little bit more I want to get through, and we're already 20 minutes late. So, Seth, it's your turn. Actually, I skipped Ash. Ash, Drea, it is your turn.
Ooga booga. I'm gonna get up on the platform and swing.
Okay. So it's a strength athletics check to climb.
Boo.
Oh, also you take 10 points of fire damage.
Okay, 17.
Okay, you have climbed. Now a dexterity acrobatics check.
Yep. It's 19 plus something.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
You're good. And then you can make it to the point because it's 15, 20, and then 10 feet. So you just
I'm
make
gonna
it.
wave bye to the big gigantic thing before I go down the hole. Just whoop.
He just roars, looks around sadly, and continues burning until released from his spell.
Big Kevin?
Yeah.
Once we're out,
can't fit.
I'll let him dissipate.
Okay. Very good. All right.
Bye, Big Kevin. Good luck finding your dad.
And I thought that would be easy.
Jesus. What a disaster. But a beautiful disaster.
Beautiful disaster is probably what we should have named the party.
That was very fun.
Oh, that would.
I realized way too late that I had Misty Step that I could have used.
Oh my god.
Oh, everyone could have done something, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, in the interest of getting through what I want here.
Do you want to go back, Gabe?
Yes, we can go back now. I will stop share now. Okay. Now, I am trying to get this music to play.
I'm hearing it.
You do hear it?
Yeah. It's good.
I don't hear it.
That might actually be better then, Gabe, because that way you don't have to turn it down.
Fair. I will be right back.
You're so tall.
But this is game oriented. I'm not abandoning you.
Okay. He quits on us. Gabe's like, I'm out. You know what? You
Comes
guys
back in a full costume.
You disappoint me so much with your will to not live.
No.
Oh man. Well, that was fun. That was a good time.
That was harrowing.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Why?
Sir? Sir?
I failed some of my own dexterity saves. Okay. I still don't hear. So you hear music?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to hear it.
Now the actual combat starts, and
Well, funny you should mention that.
no, that's a silly. Ha ha! You got it good there, Dungeon Daddy.
Uh-huh.
TPK. TPK.
I'm
I said
sitting,
I was done with you.
I'm sitting at 55 HP, doing alright.
Oh.
You remember
Wow,
that other
that's
wyvern?
beefy.
Well, I had that basically take no damage from the 2 acid sprays, and then I spent time on the higher platforms for the most part.
I can't.
And then I've got 15 back on second wind.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys still hear music, I will forge on without.
Forge on.
We do.
It's present.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So you are able to finally descend a natural cavern stairwell. It sort of just leans up against a large cavern wall and it heads downward. And as you are descending this stair, the monstrous cavern that you enter glows with a comforting, lambent aura. Descending the stair and setting foot on solid ground again, the party realizes that there is vegetation here. A soft green, normal moss, not pallid, clings to the stone ground. Further in the chamber is where the glow emanates from. There is a large pool that throws a dizzying array of shimmers throughout the stone cavern. The glow comes from a giant 10-foot tall, white featureless mask on the natural cave wall beyond it. Its eyes are leaking water from a natural spring that just pours downward with a pleasing trickle. Before that, the mask, in the pool, stands a few pillars of natural stone, and atop them, a wooden bridge that links the three. Atop that bridge, standing eerily still, is a figure. Monstrous black wings outstretched behind him, a crown of flame, and black liquid oozing from glaring red eyes. The glittering eyes have watched you since you entered the room.
You will come no closer, but you may leave this place undisturbed.
He gestures to the backside of what looks like a curtain made of stone. How would the party like to proceed? Also, as we do so, let's bring up another battle sheet just briefly here, Ben.
Who do you care whose stats are up?
No.
Okay.
Let's just
On
whoever
your
is
call.
up. Okay, I'm going. And I couldn't set this one up quite perfectly.
I think I recognize this.
All right. So this is what stands before the party. The party would be back here towards the natural cavern wall. And there is something, of course, in the waters, the crystalline waters. So we're just going to go in an order that I have selected. Kevin, you have Seth in your mouth. For the sake of just the game, is there anyone that wants to revive him or give him a good berry? No.
I could.
I'd like to.
You guys should all have a berry.
Okay.
They only last a day.
I know.
They do disappear.
I know. Kevin gives them out like I'm hoping someone at least saved their berry.
All right, we're gonna have to start at the beginning of each session.
I'll make sure that I just message you when I give him out. But
Okay.
I can drop the bear form and bring him back if. But then we don't have a bear afterwards.
I think if I supposedly have a berry, I can give him one then.
I don't want to. I don't want to make it
Is
seem
it-
like it's total plot convenience though. If it's
Yeah, no, if you don't, then Seth is dying. He will, when his turn comes up, he's gonna have to make a death saving throw. So, I'm just putting it out there as like a concern.
yeah, I'll just for the sake of since I haven't clarified that how often
I mean, someone could
Day
just
comes up.
stabilize him too.
stabilize him, but then yeah.
He's dying. That's why I bring it up. He is literally dying.
I'd like to stabilize him if possible.
Okay.
It's a medicine
You may make
check.
a medicine check.
Okay. 19.
Okay. Very good. So, Seth, you are stable. I really just didn't want to proceed and do like a big narration and then be like, make your death save.
And then he dies.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, Kevin, you were the first to approach. Do you still have Seth in your mouth?
Yep.
What would you like to do? Head toward the pool or head towards the curtain?
He said I can't go to the pool, right?
Correct. He said you could simply leave, but come no closer to him.
Oh no. Kevin will hold his action and wait to see what Thok does.
Okay.
Thok is the moral arbiter for Kevin when he's confused, and Kevin is heckin' confused.
Okay. Ren, you are next.
Can I whisper and say, Seth, it's okay, go in the water?
You can, but he is
I'm
unconscious.
unconscious.
He's unconscious.
You can whisper it to Kevin, and Kevin will,
Okay.
Okay.
and Kevin will
Yeah.
drop him in the water if that's what you want him to do.
Yeah.
Yep, Kevin drops him in the water.
Okay, so Kevin, you begin to move forward before you get to the water.
Yep.
An image appears before you. It just flashes to life magically. Everyone else's has story elements, but yours is you see a pile of good berries and Big Kevin burning alive at the stake.
No!
Oh my god.
It's just magical image right before you. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Where's my character sheet? 15 plus 4 is... Oh, no, plus 5. Unnatural 20, because we're up a level.
Okay. You succeed. You do not allow the illusion to halt your progress. You don't let the fear grip you. However, he does whisper some words to you. As you move forward, he says,
You have no guidance, and thus will fail.
and Big Kevin moves forward and drops Seth face first in the pool. Seth, we'll get to you after Ren. Ren, let's say it's still your turn. You've watched this happen. You watched your bear companion move forward, halt hesitantly, and then continue and drop Seth face first in the pool.
He's gonna drown.
Can I see what Seth does first?
Sure.
Is that possible? Okay.
I had a theatrical order, but yeah, you can wait.
Okay.
Okay. Thok, it is your turn. What would you like to do? If you say, "Can I wait and watch?" I will slap you.
No, I'll approach the pool.
Okay. All right. So, Thok, you see yourself burning alive before you, and there's a group of people that are familiar to you, all circled around you, laughing, all of their eyes leaking ink. Terrorburn whispers to you and says, "I have already made you a murderer. All of your friends perished at your own hand. Are you sure you wish to proceed?" And make a wisdom saving throw.
9.
Okay. You are frozen in fear. You cannot approach the image.
Okay.
So everyone else that's watching just sees Thok just freeze up. Seth.
Mm-hmm.
You thrash in the water, but an image appears above you as you breathe life. You are fully restored to full health, full stats, full everything. You feel that ickiness just phasing out of your system, and you see your father and Tef tied to stakes, burning alive.
Okay.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. 12.
12. All right. You are frozen again in fear, but the waters lapping up against you begin to ease that fear immediately. You can't approach the image, but the image is in the water, so it's you can back away if you wanted to.
Okay.
All right. Drea, what would you like to do?
Muted.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk forward a few steps. I'm not gonna go in immediately or anything. I'm gonna look up the weird thing, Dumai, I'm guessing, and say, "Who are you? Why are you barring people from using this weird pool?"
Okay. And you walked forward?
Yeah, just a little bit, like a step or two.
Yeah.
I didn't make any intention to go in.
Yeah. As you take a step or two toward the pool, however, a vision does appear for you as well, and you see Castor and Amara burning alive. I would like a wisdom saving throw from you.
Okay. It is an 11.
Okay. You are also gripped with fear. You still speak the words to him. You can't approach any closer to the image. However, as you speak those words to him, he does not reply. The figure atop doesn't look at you, doesn't register your presence, and you have a feeling that perhaps he's not really there, or that he's a projected image. However, a voice still whispers to you, and it says, "You think you are alone, Traitor Blade? You know not the blood I had gotten to spill with you. We are more brethren than these companions you keep." And as the fear grips you, Drea, you hear screams from pallid moss, emulating your fear, coming from behind the massive pale mask. And as it does so, the major image begins to flicker and winks out. The Dumai atop Terrorburn just disappears.
Am I still frozen?
No, as soon as he disappears, all the images for all of you disappear, and you're all just like relieved to see it all gone. And as soon as that fear leaves, also the pallid moss just quiets from wherever it was. All right, I'm gonna change back to full screen.
Let me know. Yep, ready when you are.
Going now. All right. And that is where we will end tonight's
Oh my
session.
gosh!
Ooh. Damn.
Whew.
And if you noticed, those all linked back to the words that you heard the Sibriex shout to you in session 1. Kind of. to some of you.
Oh, I didn't have a big Kevin with a burning pile of good berries before, but
No, that was all I could think of. Till we get more of your narrative out.
man, oh man, oh man.
Oh wait, Brock. I skipped Brock. No, I skipped Ren. Ren, damn it! You were supposed to. I'm Ren. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, Ren.
Little retcon here.
The guy's still there. The guy's still there.
I failed it.
Okay, technically you didn't approach, so I mean, you wouldn't have been given the major image anyway.
Well, I wanted to wait to see if Seth was survived. Then I was going to approach.
Okay. All right. If you would have approached, I will read it to you still.
Okay.
You fail. A major image appears, and you see Brock and Lily burning at the stake as well. Terror burn. I know, a little bit on the nose.
Terrifying burns.
And what he says to you, and these messages are all private to you. They're in your minds. You don't. It's not like you've all heard them for each other. And he says, "Your love makes you vulnerable." All right, and that's where we will end tonight's.
That's the end of it. Okay. End it.